Do not worry.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. We are here to talk about the Odyssey. I'm going to give you guys my spoiler-free review, and if a lot of you guys have seen it in the chat, maybe we'll do some spoilers a little bit later, but I'm going to try to avoid that. Sorry for restarting the stream. I hadn't downloaded a few of the things that I needed. They were taking too long to download while I was here. It just stressed me out. I don't want to look at the chat and like still download stuff. So it's all ready. We're good to go. Hope you guys are doing okay. Welcome to the stream. Everything's ready to go now. Everything's ready to go. Before we get going, let me quickly take a second to thank our lovely YouTube members, without whom we cannot make this show happen. And thank you to Jesse Jean Short for renewing their membership just a little bit earlier today. Thank you, Jesse Jean. And let me thank a few of our other lovely members, such as Diego Maidan 04, Soy Killjoy, Eric the Reed, Pisces Moon, Sheldingo. Let me look at some who else we got? We got L666, we got Tiny Ghost, Hen1149, Max Danger 17. Thank you guys for being members. Squilly Liz, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Squilly Liz. And Jay Nada, who's been a member for 14 months. Holy shit. Jay of the Dead, 8 months. Thank you guys so much. Also, take a second to, we got Brother Bard, Mom Ro, and Whoop Whoop Swoop. Thank you guys so much for being members. We love and appreciate you all so very much. Do I still have my other... Did I close the other thing with all the tweets? No, that one's still here. And, of course, our lovely patrons, folks. Our patrons who also get... members get exclusive content. Patrons get exclusive content. Let me thank some of our other patron members in chat, like Briarleaf, Mustafa, Samsam, Marirose Atalla, Jesse Jean, Marina, Haley D. How are you guys doing? Sorry for all the delays. B-Ball. Hello, B-Ball. Welcome, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. If you're watching live, like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Click that button. It makes a really big difference. It helps us out a lot here. And let me thank some of our patrons as well, who will be getting Karine is done. Karine filmed her video about Morning Glory Milking Farm. She sent me a download link. I will be downloading it and uploading it to Patreon this week. So patrons, if you want to listen to Karine read a nasty book about, let me just pop out that picture yet one final time, hopefully for the final time. If you guys want to watch Karine talk about Morning Glory Milking Farm. Ooh, I'm not even here. Let me I'm restarting the stream. I'm kidding, folks. If you guys want to listen to Karine read and review Morning Glory Milking Farm, which is the story of a woman who works at a pharmaceutical company whose job it is to milk minotaurs because their milk contains the secret to prolonged life. So it's going to be on Patreon this week. So if you want to support the channel on Patreon, you get this exclusive content that the members don't get. Members also get exclusive live streams, extra stuff. So we appreciate our members. We appreciate our patrons. This show cannot go on without you. So thank you very much. Let me open up that link again and thank the patrons. Let me thank patrons such as Iliad Mujabir, our God tier patrons, superhero patrons like Legal and Lipstick, Ezekiel B, Fatty Mac, A Rose for You, blonde patrons like Bertram Balk, Jordan M, Riz, Matthew Bax, and abductee patrons like Villamina, DG, Joseph Ramirez, Isa Nabila, Rachel, Mother's Milk, and Jesse Hyde. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Sorry. A little bit of a rough voice today. So thank you all. Very much appreciated. But remember, please keep in mind, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron to support the channel. Simply like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, consider subscribing to my other channel, Tino's Playroom. Look at that. If you guys like Lego, you guys like me. Normally, I'm going to be doing movie reviews on Tino's Playroom. This is a pretty big movie that has a lot of like crossover with what we talk about on this channel. There's some right-wingers arguing and complaining about this movie. This is why I'm going to be reviewing the Odyssey on this channel. But moving forward, everything movie-related is going to be happening on Tino's Playroom. We spent an hour reacting to the Avengers Doomsday trailer just 5 days ago. Let me go ahead and copy that link in the live chat, and you guys can subscribe to that channel. Would make me very happy. There's a lot of fun Lego content coming. I have a whole huge shopping haul to go through. Lots of stuff to build. Lots of video games to play. So if you guys are into fun, geeky stuff, consider subscribing to Tino's Playroom. We're reacting to the Reckless Ben Lego saga, building a lot of Lego. I'm building a massive Star Wars mock, Clone Wars mock. That's going to be a lot of fun. So consider joining us. And with all that down, folks, what we're going to be doing today is going over the Odyssey. I'm going to give you guys my spoiler-free review. Okay, spoiler-free. Maybe at the end of the stream, once we've covered everything, I can go ahead and talk about spoilers for like 5 minutes or something. If you guys are into that, I'll make sure to give everybody a heads up in the live chat. I don't want to, not that you can spoil the Odyssey. It's like 3,000 years old, but you know, almost all of modern mythology is based on the Odyssey. But for those of you who want to go in and experience it fully fresh, you know, this is gonna be spoiler free, except until the end. Sarah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Lil Shaitan, hello, hello. Okay, guys. So let's start things off with a quick. I think I've written down sort of how I want to go about this. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've done this, folks. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Okay. First, let me show you a little vlog that I made. About my experience going to watch this in IMAX. I got to watch. I was lucky enough to watch the Odyssey. Well, not exactly the way it was intended. Now, the way it was intended to be seen is an IMAX 70. One second. Is an IMAX 70 millimeter. Okay, so the IMAX screening with the film projector, the 70 millimeter film projector. Now, the theater that I went to, which was the Utvar Hazy IMAX theater at the Air and Space Museum in Chantilly, Virginia. They have an IMAX theater. I've been there twice before watching the Odyssey. I watched The Dark Knight Rises there in 2012, and I watched Interstellar in 2014. At that time, that theater was still equipped with a 70 millimeter film projector and the original giant IMAX screen with the 1:43 aspect ratio, which is it's a 6-story tall screen. It takes up the entire wall from literally from the floor to the ceiling. You have to look up and down to get to see the entire screen. But in 2015, they actually removed their film projector and replaced it with a dual laser projector. Now, technically, if you want to be a full purist, the best way to watch the film is in 70 millimeter IMAX. That is the original way to see it. I got to see it in real IMAX with the real aspect ratio, but instead of a 70 millimeter film projector, it was replaced with dual laser projectors. Now, it was still clear and pristine as hell. And to me, the aspect ratio, the big screen, the 1:43:1 aspect ratio is more important to me than watching it than watching a film projector. Technically, that's just my opinion. And also something that's been happening around the country because there's been so much demand for the 70 millimeter IMAX screens. These projectors, the film projectors, have actually been like overheating, and it's happened more than once where people are showing up to watch the Odyssey in 70 millimeter IMAX, and they've been overheating, so they've had to refund people and like get them tickets for another day. I literally watched that movie on my last day in the United States. I left the US on the 23rd of July. My tickets were for the 22nd. So imagine me going to a 70 millimeter IMAX screening, and then something happens to the projector. It overheats or it stops working. They would have like canceled my ticket, and I never would have had another chance to watch it. So I'm actually very happy I got to see it in digital projector because it guaranteed that it wasn't going to overheat, and it worked. So, and I still got the experience of watching the full, massive, real, true IMAX screen. There's only 80 theaters in the whole world that can display movies in 1:43, the 1:43 aspect ratio that Christopher Nolan intended. There's about 40 theaters, 30 to 40 theaters in the world that can show it in 70 millimeter. So the 1:43 aspect ratio, but with 70 millimeter included. Now, I've seen Interstellar in 70 millimeter IMAX, and I saw Dark Knight Rises. I honestly couldn't tell the difference by watching Odyssey, which was dual laser projected, or 70 millimeter. Now, would I have liked to see it in 70 millimeter? Of course, it would have been nice. But I still got, in my opinion, again, the most important thing to me is the aspect ratio. I got to see every single frame, every single inch that Christopher Nolan filmed. I got to see it. I got to watch it on the massive screen, and I got to watch it with my sister, which was super fun. Here's a little vlog. It's just a two-minute little video that I cut together of my experience. Here we are, going to the theater. So that's pretty, like, look at this. It's like in the middle of like a massive field. The Air and Space Museum used to be in like Washington, D.C. And I guess a few years ago, they like moved the entire museum to like Chantilly, Northern Virginia. So like it's in the middle of like a giant grass field. It's kind of nice. It was kind of cool, like going somewhere so remote to watch the film. I'm so awkward in front of a camera. I'm like, get some footage of me there. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself. So this is how awkward I am. Look at this shit. So let me just go back and show you guys the screen a little bit, because like it's hard to do it justice in video. You're not gonna get like the actual scale. It's fucking impossible. But let me try to like look at this. You see how low, like the screen is literally touches the floor. The screen touches the floor, and it goes all the way up to the ceiling. All you see is screen, and we were sitting at the sixth row, so my entire periphery, my entire peripheral vision was taken up by the screen, which is how you need to watch an IMAX movie. Avoid the like sitting in the back. Now you don't have to sit at the 6th row. You could sit at the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th row. Anything beyond that, I feel you're losing. Like, to me, the most important thing is watching it full, comfortable IMAX. I'm gonna try for whoever here is in Lebanon. I'm gonna try to go over the Vox Cinema, and I'm gonna show you guys which tickets to get. Okay, for Vox if you live in Lebanon. Full house, by the way. It was a full house. I hope you guys can tell, you know, the scale of the screen. So you see this? This is actually not taking up the entire screen because there's some black at the bottom, which isn't going to happen in a second. So that's kind of what it looks like. These are just a few seconds of the Dune 3 trailer. Like, look, so I'm trying to, so like I'm panning the camera down. As you'll see, like these are seats in front of me. Like you literally have to like tip over and look like this to see the screen from, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's touching the floor. I don't know if this is making any sense. It's just fucking awesome. Okay, this is the end. I didn't film any of the Odyssey. I didn't want to be arrested. So we got some credits. Okay, boom. Mithy Eve, welcome back. Mithy Eve has just renewed her Do Not Worry membership. Thank you so much, Mithy Eve. And also, we just got a $5 dono from Mustafa Jaff. Says, did anyone else's eyes hurt in the storm scene after the men ate Saturn's cattle? My eyes were having a feast. To me, the movie was a feast for the senses. My sister did tell me that at some point when they were on the ship, she started getting a little bit nauseous. She was like, it was too immersive. But also, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in 4DX, which is fucking insane. So, and it's just a little vlog that I wanted to show you guys. And I want to show you guys some pictures, actually, that I took of the film. Now, again, I took these vertically. So you're not going to get, again, you're not really get the effect. But like, again, it's kind of a tight theater room. Also, Brittany Simon, how's it going? We got my cousin here, a Syrian cousin, Brittany Simon's in chat. Brittany Simon, salutations. Hope you get to watch the movie and enjoy it as well. So this is what the screen kind of looks like. again, it's literally starts on the floor. It literally touches the floor, and every single inch of the screen is covered in Christopher Nolan's vision. Okay, me and my sister in our seats, excited to get the film started. And then here's just some shots that I took while watching the film. Like, just look at this, and you can see, like, look, you see people's heads. I'm sitting pretty fucking close to the screen, and you can still kind of see, like, even though there's people's heads in front of me, the screen still extends down. And to me, that's the best way to see it, having it cover your entire periphery. This was one of my favorite shots of the whole film. I just wanted to snap a quick photo of it. Here's Matt Damon's body double standing in front of the giant stuntmen that were portraying the giants. Here's a quick shot of Matt Damon. I hate to be the guy who pops out his phone and takes pictures. Like, to me, this was such a massive and important movie-going experience to me. And the fact that I was there with my sister, I just kind of wanted to commemorate it. So here's a shot of the ship next to the whirlpool. And again, like, the whole fucking screen left. I wish I took some of these in wide, but like, you're not going to be able to tell the scale from this. We got Matt Damon here during a storm. We got some other dude during the storm. We got the back of King Agamemnon. And back to the vlog. Okay. So anyways, that was my experience kind of watching it. For anybody asking, like, do you recommend watching it in IMAX? Look, if you live in a country where you have a real IMAX screen with the 1:43 aspect ratio, whether it's digital or whether it's 70mm IMAX, try to watch it in the largest aspect ratio that you can, the 1:43. If you have to drive an hour or two, I would say it's honestly worth it. My sister and I drove about 50 minutes to get to the Air and Space Museum, and it drove another 50 minutes back. So it was about 2 hours of driving. I would have honestly, even if it was 2 hours, I would have like gotten on a bus, I would have gotten on a train to go to the nearest IMAX theater. These movies don't come around very often. And this movie is the first film to ever be shot in IMAX from beginning to end. The entire fucking film is shot in IMAX camera. So to me, it is worth the trip. Now, if you can't get to an IMAX theater, does that mean you're not going to enjoy the film, or does that mean you shouldn't watch the film? Of course not. Go watch the fucking movie. The only thing that IMAX is adding to it is, like, half the time, if it's like a close-up of Matt Damon, you're not going to see maybe the top of his hair, and you're not going to see like the bottom of the screen. If they're like standing up, you're not going to see their feet, and you're not going to see some of the sky. Everything you have to see is centered. So even if you're watching it in 70mm film, but not IMAX, or just a regular small digital projection screen, you're still going to get whatever Christopher Nolan wants you to see is right in the center of the screen. You're going to enjoy the film. You're going to be immersed in the film. A little trick, what I would recommend, is just to sit a little bit closer. Okay, try to sit. Don't be afraid of sitting close. A lot of people have this mentality that if you're sitting very close to the screen, Vox Cinema, Lebanon. Let me try to show you a little bit, okay? Let us get some tickets. Let's look at the tickets for Odyssey in Lebanon. And you guys can use this as a guide for whatever theater you're using, okay? Okay, so let's pick IMAX tomorrow, for example, for the Odyssey at 11:50 a.m. Okay, these are Beirut tickets, but a lot of your theaters in Lebanon should, in the US, you know, LIMAX, you know, like there's a lot of theaters that are branded as IMAX that are not actually IMAX, okay? So look, you see this? People are fucking up. So this is the screen right here, okay? IMAX right here. What Lebanese people love to do is they love booking the premium seats. They love sitting in the back. They think it gives them more privacy, etc. What people don't know is that the best seats in this theater are these three right here. These three rows, these three blue rows in the standard. So skip the premium. If you want to listen to me and you're here in Lebanon, you want to watch the movie, or if you live abroad and you want to watch the movie, okay? If you're watching it on a regular movie theater screen, not even a fake IMAX, just a regular movie theater screen, I would sit like very close to the screen. I would pick one of these. If you're in Lebanon, I would book either this seat, or I would sit here. If I were in Lebanon, I would pick this row. So the third row from the top, right here. That way, at least, like, do your best to have the screen cover your periphery. Make sure the screen covers as much as your peripheral. That way, if you're looking right, all you see is screen. When you look left, all you see is screen. If you look up, all you see is screen. These green seats aren't going to do it for you. These green seats, you're going to see the edges of the screen. You're going to see the edge of the wall. And it's going to feel like you're looking at a screen on a wall. The closer you sit, the more that effect is diminished. Now, I'm not telling you to sit in the first two rows and break your neck and watch it like this. Don't do that, okay? Don't be like, you don't have to do that, okay? Sit right here, 1, 2, and 3. I would recommend if you're in Lebanon, I would sit in this third row right here. I would sit here. Like, this is what I would book. These are the tickets that I would book. Personally. That's what I would do. You don't have to do what I'm doing. But if you live in Lebanon and you want to watch it in IMAX, watch those tickets. If you live in the States and you have a regular IMAX theater next to you that's not 70mm or that's not 1:43:1, book these tickets, okay? Sit a little bit closer than you're used to. Just make sure the screen covers your periphery. You'll thank me later. Trust me, this is the way to fucking see the movie and to try to replicate the full real IMAX experience. And you'll get pretty fucking close like this, okay? Trust me. Chris said, Anthony made me sit there when we watched Mandalorian. It's a lot of eye work. I prefer it to be more in the back. You see? Yeah, he doesn't... Chris doesn't value the immersion that I value. I value that stuff a lot. Noxalato sends a $2 dono and says, you need a mug saying, I drink Chud's Cope tears. Well, after the box office that this movie's pulling, there's a lot of Chud Cope. It's kind of sad. Thank you, Noxalato, for supporting the channel and for being a member for so fucking long. We appreciate you. Colin Love says it's a difference of playing a game on TV and playing a game in VR. Kind of, right? You're kind of replicating the VR sense where, I mean, some people maybe get nauseous or motion sickness, and this movie has a lot of boat scenes, so you might get motion sick. But trust me, the closer you sit to that screen, the more it covers your peripheral vision, I think the more you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to give the movie its due. And if you're upset that, like, hey, I don't have an IMAX theater next to me, or a real IMAX, and I'm not going to drive 5 or 6 hours, go to your local IMAX, okay? Sit a little bit closer, you'll have fun, okay? Now, enough of that, enough of the IMAX, blah, blah, blah. How was the movie? How was the movie? I loved it, okay? I fucking loved the movie. I thought it was excellent. On Instagram, I put out a story. I'm like, it's a 10 out of 10. Now, look, do I think it's a 10 out of 10? Probably not. It's not a perfect film. But to me, the scope of the film, the fact that it was shot in IMAX, the fact that they've been releasing so many behind-the-scenes featurettes about how they shot this fucking film, it just got me excited, man. Nobody's making movies like this anymore. Movies nowadays are either using a whole fuckload of green screen constantly. They're using the volume, which they use on the Mandalorian TV show, which is like these big LED screens that they use as a background, but it limits where you can move and how the camera can move, etc. It just looks shitty. Okay, they went like on fucking location. And yes, granted, they went to the Saharan desert in Morocco that is occupied territory. Fuck that, okay? A lot of people are choosing to boycott the movie over that reason. I think that is a noble reason to boycott the movie. But like, they went to Greece, they went to like Iceland, they went to Italy. The number one thing this movie made me want to do was travel. It just made me want to fucking travel and like go to Greece. It was incredibly immersive. The way that it was filmed, it looks fucking spectacular. It inspired me to like grab a camera and fucking make something again. You know, I was like, God damn, I haven't made a documentary in years. It just made me want to make a short film, a documentary, like something. But seeing a crew going to fucking and like, I feel like this is like the bare minimum, right? Like we've gotten so used to like slop that like seeing a movie on this scale actually use extras, actors, tons of costumes. When you see 500 Greek soldiers running in a scene, there's actually 500 dudes in costume running and camera being filmed. They built the fucking massive Trojan horse. They dragged that Trojan horse with ropes into the city. Like everything you see, they actually lit the fucking thing on fire. So what I love about Nolan is he tries to get as much of this footage in camera as he can. And if he does have to use CGI, if he does have to use digital effects, he'll do it sparingly, only when he has to, only when practical effects can't accomplish what he's trying to do. Now you'll be thinking, but Anthony, you're not talking about the plot of the movie. You're just talking about how it was made. Yes, to me, I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to behind the scenes making movies. So to me, the fact that it was made that way, the fact that it was so immersive to just sit there and watch already adds like 5 points to me. Like this to me made the experience so much better. And I fucking like the story. I love the movie. I love the performances. I think maybe, what's his name? Tom Holland was maybe the least convincing out of everybody, but I fucking love the performances. I thought Matt Damon was a great lead actor, a great emotional anchor for this film. Compared to a lot of other Christopher Nolan movies, this one actually like got me emotional a couple of times. Like, did I cry? Did I like bawl? No, but like I felt something. A lot of Christopher Nolan movies, while technically impressive, leave me feeling cold. This one did not leave me feeling cold. So I quite loved it. And I haven't read the Odyssey. I haven't read the Iliad. I know a lot about them just through being alive and watching other films and reading other stories. Like these have influenced almost everything you've watched throughout your life. But obviously, I know the Cyclops. I know the story about like turning into pigs. I know obviously the fall of Troy and the Trojan horse and all of that. So, but I wasn't aware of like the whole story and how it connects and everything like that. So I thought it was brilliant. I was swept away in the story. You know what I mean? Like I was genuinely swept away. I thought the performances were brilliant. I thought the effects, the practical effects, even the CGI when used worked perfectly. I think it's an incredible movie going experience. Even if you end up not liking it, I think it would be a waste to wait to watch this at home. You have to go watch this in the theater, even if it's not an IMAX theater. If you can watch it in IMAX, it's a plus. It's going to be an extra memorable experience for you and whoever you go with. Okay. IMAX tickets are sold out though, like real IMAX tickets, especially IMAX 70mm or even at the theater that I'm at. Those tickets are sold out 2 weeks in advance now. I booked my tickets on the 9th of June. We booked them here live on stream, and then I saw the movie on July 22nd. So I had to book my tickets like a month and a half in advance, and even then, the best seat I could get was in the 6th row. And now, because of the great word of mouth, because of the reviews, those tickets are selling out. It is impossible now. Even if you have an IMAX theater next to you, you're not going to be able to find a ticket for like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even longer at this point. I don't even know. It is impossible to get tickets for this. Let's see real quick. Let me see. Udvar, Hazy, Odyssey. Let me look at tickets at the theater that I watched it at, just to see Smithsonian, the Odyssey. Okay, let's go back. Remember this? So July 27th. So July 29th. Let's go. So that's July 29th. That's in a couple days. Airbus. Okay, standard. What is it? Are they sold out? Why can't I even click this? Okay, let's click this, I guess. Okay, Monday, July 27th. So this is for... So that's for today? No, let's do tomorrow. July 29th. Why are they not letting me fucking look at tickets? Airbus IMAX showtimes through August 9th. Okay. Why are they just showing me this day? July 28th, okay. Yeah, I think it's sold out. Look at this. You can't even, like, click anymore. What the fuck? Really? Yeah, good luck finding tickets. Good luck finding tickets. Damn, I don't know. Yeah, I can't even click. Look, they're not even letting me click. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means it's sold out, but like what I've read is that people are having to book tickets 8 weeks in advance now. People are having to buy tickets 8 weeks in advance. Nightmare Schwaltz says, hey, did you enjoy Eggers the Northman? I did. I did enjoy Eggers the Northman, but I was kind of disappointed. Like the second half didn't hold me as much, but I did like it. And a lot of people are like, don't watch this woke trash. Watch Eggers the Northman. Yeah, nobody fucking watched the Northman. The Northman fucking flopped at the box office. They're like, that's a real or non-woke movie. All the people that are calling the Odyssey woke didn't show up to watch the Northman in the fucking theater. So that's kind of crazy. But let's open. I'm not really good at doing reviews anymore because like I don't even know how to. The story. Did I like the story? I thought the story was great. The performances. Did I like the performances? I thought the performances were great as well. Matt Damon was great. Tom Holland as the Telemachus. Anne Hathaway was really good. Robert Pattinson was great. There's that meme that's already going around Twitter. Get these fucking beggars out of here. Really funny. And Elliot Page, I think, okay, for all the fucking bitching that people did for Elliot Page, how can you have a trans person in the movie? Why is a trans person in the movie? Why is he playing Achilles? First of all, he doesn't fucking play Achilles. He plays Sinon. And the fact that Elliot Page plays Sinon makes so much fucking sense because the character is supposed to be a small, tiny man. Like, he's tiny. He's not supposed to be in the battle. He took someone else's place that was more physically formidable. So Sinon, the whole point of that character is that he was never supposed to be there, and he's small, not physically imposing. Elliot Page was the perfect fucking actor to play that role. Also, you got to keep in mind, you fucking assholes, Elliot Page has worked with Christopher Nolan before. They worked together on Inception, so what fucking better way? And ever since Elliot Page transitioned, he hasn't been getting a lot of roles. The only thing I've seen him in was The Umbrella Academy, like one of the later seasons. He hasn't been in a major motion picture since. What better fucking way to make a fucking statement and have your friends back than putting him in one of the biggest fucking movies of all time? Like, what a G Christopher Nolan is. To be like, you know what? I fucking love working. And Christopher Nolan is one of those directors that likes working with the same people in multiple movies. He casts the same people and brings them back. So bringing Elliot Page back to make his big screen return on one of the grandest epics ever fucking made is such a G move that only Christopher Nolan can fucking pull off. And guess what? Elliot Page was fucking fantastic. And I'm not here to be one of those people that are like, well, I get it. You're against trans people. Well, Elliot Page only has a 3-minute role. Elliot Page could have been in the movie for 30 fucking minutes, 40 fucking minutes. It doesn't matter if he has 5 minutes of screen time or 30 minutes of screen time. He was fucking fantastic. He was perfectly cast in that fucking role. And once I understood the role of Sinon in the story, I'm like, this is the perfect casting. He's supposed to be tiny. He's supposed to be not physically imposing, because it's like, why is this guy even in the war? So for the people who were like, okay, I get that you're upset that Elliot Page is in the movie, but he's only in there for 5 minutes, so it doesn't affect it. I think that's a cop-out. Like, that's a shitty answer. Like, okay, I know you don't like black people or trans people. They barely have any screen time. That's no excuse. Lupita Nyong'o was fucking great. She could have had 40 minutes of screen time. Would not have made a difference. Elliot Page was fucking fantastic. And I'm not just saying that to be woke, or like, they were genuinely fucking great actors. Lupita Nyong'o, I remember watching her for the first time in my life in 12 Years a Slave. Her fucking performance broke my fucking heart, dude. Lupita Nyong'o is an incredible fucking actress. Elliot Page is an incredible fucking actor, and they both fucking killed it in their respective roles. So, Polish, thank you for being here, Polish. Sorry I didn't say hello. How's it going, Polish? Bless you. Thanks so much. Hopefully you have get some good sleep. Okay. He's not supposed to be a child. He starts, like, there's a scene, you see him kind of as a child in the beginning, who's already a tiny child. Like, he's already a small little boy, and he grows up to be a small statured man. But his performance was haunting. The scene that he has was fucking fantastic. He has a couple of scenes. You guys will see it and you'll judge it for yourselves. So to anybody who's like, yeah, okay, I get that, why you're upset about Elliot Page, but he's only in it for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna be one of those people. He's in there for 5 minutes. He could have been there for 20 fucking minutes. It would have been fucking fantastic. And same goes to Lupita Nyong'o. Everybody was great. Honestly, the entire cast was great, except, I will say, Tom Holland. My dad's coming back. I miss my dad. That kind of took me out of the movie a little bit sometimes, okay? Tom Holland has this thing about him. I don't know what it is. I think he played the role too young. He was acting like a 14 or 15-year-old the whole time. I don't know what it was. He was probably the least convincing. He's still good. He's still a talented actor. But, like, I guess his scenes were... But though, like, once... Okay, I'm not... Like, later in the film, he grows into the character a little bit more, and, like, I got a bit more used to it, but I would say not my favorite. But everybody fucking killed it, especially John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo was great, and he is one of the guys who had one of the scenes that kind of got to me. Kind of got me a little bit emotional. I thought John Leguizamo was fantastic. But Matt Damon, an incredible anchor for the film. I thought he was the perfect choice to cast as Odysseus. Now, again, why isn't he Greek? Nobody cares. Everyone is only complaining about black actors or trans actors. Nobody complained that all these white people were cast. So if you're going to complain about a black actor or an Asian actor or an Indian actor or a black actor being the film, you got to complain about white people playing Greeks. And if you're not going to complain about white people playing Greeks, then just don't fucking complain at all. Stop showing your hand and showing us how fucking racist you are. But anyways, I thought the cast was fantastic. Look, to me, it's a you gotta fucking watch this movie. Okay, you gotta watch this movie. You don't have to love it. You don't have to love the story. It might leave you cold. You might not like how it's told, sort of out of order. Again, that's how the story's told in the Odyssey, and that's how Nolan does a lot of his films. For once, I think something that Nolan is adapting, and his style of shooting things or like showing things that are, you know, not chronological, kind of worked, and it was kind of the perfect thing for him to adapt. But I think Nightmarish Walt says there was a very clickbaity tweet about Nolan making a movie about Bashar al-Assad. Was that Wa'il News, Wa'il Mindset News? Because that's probably what it was. Mithy Eve says Tom is okay but not amazing. Yeah, he was okay. He was all right. But like, I think like everyone else was bringing their A game, especially Matt Damon. Like Matt Damon, I felt like truly carried this film on his fucking shoulders. Like he's in almost every scene. He had to travel to like every location. The dude probably was exhausted by the end of this. Like a lot of Tom Holland scenes, for example, all of Robert Pattinson's scenes, most of them happen in like Odysseus's palace in Ithaca, right? Like fucking Matt Damon was out on that fucking ship, going from island to island, storm to storm, getting seasick, being shoved in the horse. Like Matt Damon was put through the fucking ringer, you know, him and like most of his crew. So it's when you're with them that the adventure is fucking fantastic. And I mean, you guys know the basis of the story, right? Like Odysseus has been away from home for like 20 years. The Trojan War ended 8 years ago, but like he's still not home. And it's a story of him trying to get back to his wife Penelope, to Ithaca. And as they're trying to go there, they just keep running into misfortune to misfortune to misfortune. Getting on an island, they encounter a giant cyclops. They run away. They get to another island. They encounter giants. They run away. They go somewhere else and they encounter another thing. So like they're constantly going from place to place, encountering fucking, you know, death-defying fucking situations. But they have to survive. They have to stick together to finally make it back home and to try to get. And so while Matt Damon is away, you have all these suitors who are trying to marry Queen Penelope so that they can assume the throne, so that they can become the king of Ithaca. So you have all of these men that are trying to woo Anne Hathaway's character, Penelope, and she ain't having any of it. She fucking hates him. Her son, Tom Holland, is like, what the fuck, mom? Like, what are we going to do about this? Where's dad? Dad needs to come back. She's like, well, it's been 20 years. So it's like, should she remarry? They don't want her to remarry. They're trying to, the suitors want to get rid of Tom Holland because they don't want him to assume the throne. And it's like this race against time. Like, is Odysseus going to make it home in time to stop his wife from having to marry one of these fucking assholes? And it's a great fucking story. I really love the story. It's a classic fucking tale. Of course it's going to be great. But I highly recommend. I don't know how much I can say without getting into spoilers. It's fucking grand. It's fucking epic. They just don't make movies like this anymore. If you like movies, if you like movie making, if you like cinema, if you like art, any kind of art, in a world of AI right now where people are literally prompting shit and creating something out of decades of stolen art that we've created, to see someone go back to fucking basics. And by the way, when Nolan shoots with these massive IMAX cameras, the film reels are so big that they can only film 3 minutes at a time. So literally, when Christopher Nolan yells roll and they go like action, they have 3 minutes to get whatever scene they're trying to get. Then they have to cut, wait like, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes to refill the camera with a new giant roll of reels, you know what I mean? To like film again. It's like insane. Like, it's asking a lot of your actors. Like, you're shooting for 3 minutes. Imagine it's an emotional scene where Matt Damon's crying. He has 3 minutes to capture that performance. They're going to be cut. Hold right there, Matt Damon. Keep crying. Stay emotional. Stay in that mental state. While the camera operator is like removing a massive roll of film reel from the camera, replacing it, resetting it up, etc. It's like, okay, action. Then you have another 3 minutes to fucking film. They did the whole movie that way. They built the fucking ship. They built 3 ships. And they got on the ship. They got in the water. Actors were fucking barfing because they were getting seasick. I love that shit. They don't make movies like this anymore. There's literally a scene where Matt Damon is on the ship and you see dolphins just hopping out of the water and swimming. They caught that shot by like mistake. Like, you can't get dolphins. If you're doing this on a green screen, you think you're going to get real dolphins hopping out there? If you're filming this in a giant tank, water tank on a studio lot, you think you're going to get dolphins hopping out of there? Like, there is a level of verisimilitude. There is a level of just reality and immersion in this film that I can't describe. There's a scene where you just see the ship and the whole screen, the whole wall was just water. It was the ocean. And I'm just like sitting there like, I want to be in there. I want to be on that ship. I want to travel to fucking Greece and I want to be there right now. It's incredible. It's beautiful. So people were complaining about the costumes. They're not historically accurate. It's not supposed to be historically accurate, man. This isn't a historical biopic. It's a fucking fantasy. It's an interpretation of a fantasy, of a myth. So the creative choices made for the costumes, like Agamemnon's armor, doesn't look like the armor from Troy or like it did in like, you know, in actual history, but like it looked more like Darth Vader's costume. But that's because that is an emotion that Nolan wanted to convey. Something about that character. He wanted him to look and feel imposing. They never reveal his face, for example. These are stylistic choices. This is what happens when you have an artist, an actual artist making a piece of art. You're not just fucking copy pasting the material and doing a one-to-one fucking adaptation. Then what's the point? If you want the Odyssey as it was, just fucking read the book. Read the fucking book. You can't ask someone to adapt something and then do it the exact same fucking way, and you want it to look a certain way. What about the fucking artist's own interpretation? What about injecting some of themselves into that thing? So I find people that complain about the costuming, it's not historically accurate. Look, even the American accent, like that's one thing that I could say. Maybe they could have done it with British accents, but at the end of the day, these people are supposed to be Greek. What if they were speaking in British? Would it really made a difference? Now, the word dad, I think, was really what got me out. Like, dad. Maybe just say father next time. Maybe don't have the word dad, okay? Just say father. Did he say mom at some point? I don't know. But, like, even then, 2-3 minutes into the movie, I forgot they were speaking with American accents, man. You're taken by the story. You're taken by the emotion. I was taken by the grandeur. Maybe you can call me an easy target, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, too easy to please. I was just loving every second of it. And the fact that I was there with my sister, the fact that we made the trip out there, the fact that we were sitting in a real IMAX theater, the fact that I had already seen 2 Christopher Nolan movies in that same theater years ago, it all played a part into it. I'm not going to lie, okay? Maybe if I had seen this movie on its own in a regular theater, I'd be like, hey, it's an 8 out of 10. But the IMAX experience, being there with my sister, reminiscing of the other 2 Nolan movies that I've seen in that theater, it all came together. I'm not going to lie. It all created this incredible experience. And now this is a great experience that I had with my sister that we're going to be talking about for years to come. So genuinely, that's how it was. So I love the movie. Ask me questions. Is there a specific thing you want me to tell you about the movie, whether I liked it or not? Because, again, the story was great. The effects were fantastic. The acting was amazing. The pacing was great. The pacing, it's a 3-hour fucking movie. It didn't feel like it. When the movie ended, my sister was like, holy shit, I didn't want this to end. At the 3-hour mark, my sister was like, I wish this went longer. I don't want it to end. So it didn't feel long at all. I enjoyed. I could have watched 4 hours of this. To me, this could have been a 4-hour epic, and I would have been more than happy. And the fact that they could only go for 3 hours, by the way, was the IMAX... the film projectors at those IMAX theaters can't handle any more film reel. Like 3 hours is the max amount of film reel you can shove in that projector for it to show the movie. There's a bunch of deleted scenes that aren't in this movie. I would love to see a fucking director's cut, you know, which is never going to happen. Nolan is very specific. Like the movie, the cut you see in theaters is the director's cut. But I would love to see an extended version of this movie because I know they shot a lot more that they had to cut out because literally the film reel physically doesn't allow them to make it a longer movie. Like that's literally how it is. But I could have sat there for 4 fucking hours, man. Holy shit, Mithy Eve just gifted 5 do-not-worry memberships. Holy shit, Mithy Eve, thank you so much for not only for renewing your own membership and for gifting everybody. What the hell? Thank you so much. It's fucking awesome. So very kind. Holy shit. Guys, I want W's in the chat for Mithy Eve for supporting the channel on such a big level. Thank you guys so much. That's way too kind. So I'm going to open it up if you guys have a couple of questions before we talk about a couple of other things. Let's go through the trailer real quick. It's on mute. Just let me just look at some of these scenes and see if there's anything else. Look at this, man. Look at this. Like, I'm sorry, dude. This is all captured in camera, man. Okay, now I think this was filmed in the Sahara in Morocco. So, fuck those scenes. Anne Hathaway was great. Just look at this, man. Okay, and imagine there's no black bar up here, no black bar down here. And this is all you can see. Like, all you can see is the ocean and this fucking ship in the middle of the ocean. It is so immersive. Like, even if the story is not that great, the way that it's fucking shot, the way it makes you feel, fucking makes it better, man. You can call me crazy for saying that. But again, I do think this is one of Nolan's better scripts, even though the translator of the Odyssey fucking shat on the movie. We're going to read her review at the end. Haley, did you watch it sober? Mostly yes. Mostly yes. A little bit not sober, but after 3 hours, I was sober at some point for sure. You know, I was definitely sober. Slop Loma says it was immersive, but I don't like man movies. I mean, I guess this is a man movie, but like, there's also, you know, Penelope is a very strong character in the film, and she's doing her own shit. So, but it is mainly a bunch of dudes on a ship. What's kind of funny is that a scene that at some point I kind of started laughing. It's so much of like, all right, boys, let's get down this island. They go there, they see something fucked up. It's like, all right, boys, let's get the fuck off this island. And it's just them running away. Then they get on another island. All right, boys, let's get out here. And then they see something fucked up. Something fucked up happens. And there's, let's get the fuck out of here. They run away. Then they get back on the boat. They go somewhere else. All right, boys, let's go. It's like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what they spend. Like, you can make a very fun montage with Benny Hill music or like clown. Just like them running away. Like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. Miles Murphy says, seeing this tomorrow with the family, that's fucking awesome. You see, this is a great movie to watch with family. This is a great time for the family, everybody. And the movie's rated R, by the way. I don't think it should be rated R. There's nothing that violent in there. There's nothing in the language. Like, I'm kind of shocked that this got an R rating. And by the way, it's making bank. It's making fucking money. But I'm kind of shocked that they made this rated R because there was nothing that violent. Like, I've seen more violence in PG-13 movies. Like, remember, this is rated R. There's no language. They even curse. There's no nudity. This could have been PG-13. This could have been PG-13. Chris says, what did you think when Matt went, let's go? Well, he didn't mean it, let's go, like the meme, like, let's go. He's like, let's go. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, let's go. So, the fact that it didn't bother me really. In context, in the trailer, it might seem a bit weird out of context, but like in the context of the film, like, let's go, he's running. It's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. It's not like, let's go, fuck yeah. It's different. It's different. Nathan Drake says, I didn't even notice it had an R rating. Right? It makes no sense for it to be like, it's gonna stop some people from watching it, you know? Barely any blood. Mythief says blood, a little bit of blood, but not that much. Like, even if there was blood, they could have, I guess they could have not shown it. I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like, hey, you should do a review of Dune. I'll review Dune 3. You guys aren't going to like my review of Dune 2. When I watched Dune 2, it was mid-genocide. I was like, I can't watch another white savior movie. I can't watch another white savior movie. Don't do that to me. I got to reply to a message real quick. I'm telling you, I'm live reviewing Odyssey if you want to tune in. Guys, quick hello to my friend Donovan in case he tunes in. My friend Donovan, one of my best friends, is on his way to fucking Thailand right now to spend a week with elephants. He's going to an elephant resort where he just lives. You don't ride elephants. You don't do anything unethical with the animals. They're literally just there. They kind of live in this little neighborhood, and you get to spend like a week with them. Holy shit! Holy folks, Haley D has just gifted us 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Let's fucking go, Haley. Oh, Haley and Mithy, what's going on? Holy shit! Thank you so much. You guys are fucking awesome. You got Haley. Thank you so much. You guys, I want W's in the chat for Haley. Haley and Mythy Eve, our queens, our Penelopes of the evening. Thank you so much. Let me see if Donovan's gonna hop in. Okay, hopefully Donovan hops on. He's on a plane, so he got himself that internet connection. So if he can hop on, he's the friend I've been telling you guys about that I want to stream with him very soon. I want to get him onto the channel. Once he's back from Thailand, we're gonna have Donovan on. We're gonna do some fucking live streams with him. He's an incredible fucking human being, an incredible speaker. I would love for him to pop on and just quickly say hi in the chat. So just look at this. Look at this shit. What else we got to look at here? They actually built this fucking horse. Like, honestly, after watching the movie, I regret not buying the popcorn bucket. I regret not buying the Trojan horse popcorn bucket. I should have done it for 70 bucks. I would have loved to have this fucking thing on display. By the way, I mean, we do have, don't forget, I do have the most important collectible of all from all these films is the Grippr. We do have the Grippr, folks. I made sure to get the Grippr. But now I want this fucking Trojan horse, yo. I want this Trojan horse. I messed up. Agamemnon, he was fucking cool. The whole Trojan scene was fucking cool. And no spoilers here. And I had to look this up. The ending of the movie deals with what happens in Troy in a very unique way that I was not expecting. And that's not how the book deals with it. This movie added a level and made me think of what happens in Troy, and the sacking of Troy and how they took over Troy made me look at it in such a completely different light, and how it weighs on some of the characters, particularly Odysseus or Matt Damon's character. I had never thought, like, when I watched Troy, I kind of got that feeling. I was like, oh, this is like, is this kind of fucked up? Like, what they're doing? Like, I know I'm supposed to be like, when you watch the movie Troy, I was so conflicted throughout the whole movie because I liked Achilles as a character. I'm like, fuck, I fuck with this dude. And I also loved Hector. So when Hector and Achilles were fighting, I hated it because I'm like, don't make me choose. The Hector is the righteous character. So like, I wanted Hector, to come out on top. When you watch Troy, it like, you kind of notice that you understand that like the taking of the city of Troy is fucking brutal, but this movie really makes you feel that it's fucking brutal. And then there's something that keeps coming up is Zeus's law. Zeus's law, which is treat your guests the way you would want to be treated, because you never know if one of your guests is a god in the sky. So if you have like a homeless person or a beggar, be like, hey, can I get some food? Can you help me? You can't turn them away, because what if it's Zeus pretending to be a beggar or a homeless person, and you kick that person out of your home, and then you get fucking punished by the gods. So the movie has, like, you know, Zeus's law as kind of a running theme throughout, and at the end, Matt Damon or Odysseus ties it back to what happened in Troy and how they took over Troy, and I was like, this is such an incredible element, which is an addition, which is not in the book. So again, if you're like, just adapt the Odyssey the way it is. We want Greek actors, no trans people, no black people. It's like, bruv, just fucking let the man cook. Let Christopher Nolan cook. The guy who made the fucking Dark Knight trilogy. The man who fucking made Inception. The man who fucking made Interstellar. The man who fucking made Dunkirk. The man who made fucking Oppenheimer. Stop fucking questioning the guy. Stop fucking questioning the guy and let him fucking cook. Let the man cook. And he fucking cooked. And the ending of that film and the conclusion of that film, tying it all together and going back to the sacking of Troy, I was like, this is fucking incredible. And it made me look at Troy. And it made me look at the whole story of Troy completely different. It's fucking crazy. Slop Loma says, the ending was meh. I'm a hater, though. Slop, yeah, you guys don't have to love the movie. You know what I mean? You guys don't have to like the movie. I loved it. I loved it. And as a Nolan movie, because I don't love all of his movies, I'm very impressed by his movie, especially on a technical standpoint. Like, for example, my favorite Batman movie of his is Batman Begins. Everybody loves The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight, but I think Batman Begins is the better Batman film. You know what I'm saying? But the ending of Odyssey, I fucking loved. I thought that shit was fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, man. And the moral of that story, and it kind of, I also found a way, maybe because I think about that stuff a lot, but I also kind of found a way to tie it with what's happening in the area, with what's happening in Palestine, with what's happening in Lebanon. Like, the shit that we've allowed to do, the shit that we've done is now setting a new standard and has now killed whatever humanity we had. So there's a lot to take, and I wish I could talk about it a little bit more, but Mithy says, I want to like this, though. Love Greek mythology. So, Mithy, have you seen it? Have you seen it, Mithy? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Mithy has seen it. So, Mithy, what was your, like, full-on opinion? Tell me what you felt about it. Chris says, I felt no connection with anyone. See, I felt connected to Odysseus. I definitely felt connected. He was very flawed, the way the movie was portrayed. Even his own men, at some point, were like, I don't know if we trust you, man. Like, you're kind of, like, fucking us over. So, I kind of liked it. I liked his struggle. Now, again, it's a very long and grand story that is shoved into a 3-hour movie. Like, the Odyssey could very easily be a 10-hour fucking series, a 10-hour mini series. So Mithy says, nope, as in you didn't like it or you haven't seen it. Haven't made it there yet. Okay, I think you're gonna like it, Mithy. I hope you like it. I genuinely hope you like it. And I would love to know your opinion once you've seen it. Let us know, whether in the Discord, whether you're here, hop on another live chat and just tell us what you thought about the movie. Would love to know what you think, especially that I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology, but again, one of my biggest, like, I used to love Jason and the Argonauts when I was younger. Like, that was something that was a story that I loved. Also, the God of War games really got me into Greek mythology when I was younger. The God of War games did so much to get me, even though it's a fucked up, warped version of Greek mythology. I thought God of War did so much to get me into Greek mythology as well. Miles Murphy Cork asks, is there an intermission? There was no intermission. No, sir. You got a raw dog, the 2 hours and 45 minutes. There's about like 15 minutes of trailers or something of credits at the end. But we make sure to pee before you get into that theater. Make sure to pee before you get into the theater. There is no intermission. Kitten asks, did you like the score? I love the score. I love the music. I think it was what's his name? Johansson, what's his name? He's the young guy who does everything now. Odyssey musical score. Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig was fucking awesome. The score is fantastic. It's the one that you hear in the trailer. I thought it was a sweeping score, sweeping music. Chris says, did you like the ending fight scene? I hated the shaky cam. I understood nothing in the fight. No more shaky camera in fight scenes. Learned from John Wick. There was a bit of shaky cam, but you got to remember, Matt Damon is Jason Bourne. Those Jason Bourne movies were the birth of all that shaky cam. So, look, Christopher Nolan has never been the best at shooting hand-to-hand combat. Can we just say that? The hand-to-hand combat in, like, The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises were usually the weakest part of those films. So, like, the action scene, while technically wasn't the best, I thought the emotion kind of carried you through. The suspense kind of carried you through, not knowing, you know, how it's like, I didn't know how closely to the material he was going to stick. But I thought it was intense, and I thought it was suspenseful. Was it the clearest John Wick style action? No, but I don't think that would have worked with this kind of movie. I don't think a clear, simple, clean, wide shot of like Matt Damon, who's supposed to be an old man, like whooping some dudes' asses. I don't think that would have been what I wanted to see. In that context, I love a nice, clear, no shaky. I fucking hate shaky cam as well. But it didn't bother me, and I was sitting pretty fucking close to the screen, so I noticed all the shaking and stuff. But it still worked. It still fucking worked for me, I gotta say. Nathan Drake says, I think the Palace battle went on a bit too long, and in IMAX, the sound was super loud. See, I liked the sound. Normally, Nolan movies have very shitty sound mixing, where often you won't even hear the character's dialogue because of how loud the fucking music is. And sometimes they just sound like when Bane. No, did anyone understand Bane? Oh, Batman. I like Marcus Preston. Oh, Batman, I'll break your back. It's like, what? What did he fucking say? What? Like, you have to watch Dark Knight Rises with subtitles. Tenet, you don't even hear what the fucking people are saying. But at Tenet, it's not even about the dialogue, right? Tenet is just music, almost no dialogue. But Nolan is known for shitty sound mixing. This, I thought, was great. I could hear all the dialogue. The music was loud when it had to be. When actors were talking, I could hear what they were saying. So, for once, I'm going to say I did not mind the sound mixing in a Nolan movie. I did not. Yeah, Kid, I do agree. The chaos, because that final battle, that final fight, what I will say is, it's supposed to be kind of chaotic. Like, people are coming from all over the fucking place. Like, it's not supposed to be this clean fight. So I think the shaky cam matched the emotion of the scene and the chaos that was happening in that fucking room. Not to say more, you know? But again, it's not like Jason Bourne level shaky cam. It's better than that. It's not nauseating, but there is a bit of shaky cam. But I think it was more to show, like Ken said, the chaos of the scene, not necessarily like it wouldn't have fit. It wouldn't have fit. It got the final fight, I think, matched what the rest of the film was. So, but again, to me, that's not actually the climax of the film. The climax of the film, to me, was Odysseus speaking with, you spoil it? I don't want to spoil it. It's the final conversation he has with a character that he hasn't seen in a long time about what actually happened in Troy and how that made him feel and what that meant for the rest of time and the rest of the world. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I was like, let's fucking go. I was like, cook this shit, man. Marina says the music was so good because it was authentic, old instruments, amazing detail. Yeah, Ludwig Göransson is fucking fantastic. He's the most talented young composer working today. He's the next what's his name? Fuck. The guy who did Star Wars, the old guy. Shit, I'm forgetting his name right now. What's his name? The guy who did Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Superman, all those themes. The GOAT. Okay, you guys want to see what this looks like in 4DX? Miles Murphy says, do you think an old man would find it cool, or is it a young vibe movie? Asking for my dad. No, your dad's gonna like that shit. Your dad is gonna enjoy that shit, dude. Your dad is gonna like it. It's very much a dad movie as well, because Odysseus is a dad. So he's gonna get, okay, this is 4DX. Okay, look at this. This is some Middle Eastern cinema. Is this in Lebanon? Okay, no spoilers. Do not watch it in 4DX. I will recommend you guys watch this in John Williams. Yes, John Williams. Thank you. I would recommend you watch Odyssey and IMAX over and over again. I will never tell you to watch it in 4DX. This is what awaits you in 4DX. People have been reporting getting like motion sickness, like major fucking headaches. Holy shit, look at that shit, man. Look how violently these fucking chairs are rocking, man. That's so fucked. I love Hans Zimmer too, but Hans Zimmer at this point, when I think of Hans Zimmer, I think it's like that's Hans Zimmer to me now. Dude, that's fucking crazy, man. You're gonna break your fucking neck If you watch this in 4DX, you will break your fucking neck, folks. So quick highlight. So the Odyssey earned $124 million domestically in the US in its opening weekend. Weekend 2, it's been doing so fucking well. Word of mouth has been so fucking incredible. People have been raving about the IMAX screenings, etc. That its second weekend total was, look at that. It's going to get 85 to 95 million. Let's actually get the final box office guru. Let's see how much it made in its second weekend. Weekend estimates. So the Odyssey in its first weekend made $123 million, which is already massive. In its second weekend, it only went down 29%, almost 30%. So in its second weekend, it made $87 million, which is what some people thought it was going to make in its first weekend. People thought it was going to make 87 million, from 80 to like 100 million in its opening weekend. It made that amount of money in weekend number 2 after making 123 opening weekend. So it's currently already, just domestically, just in the US, at $286 million in 2 fucking weeks. This thing is going to make at least 400, 450, maybe even 500 million domestically. It's fucking massive. All the chuds, all the fucking right-wingers, all the fucking weirdo incels, it's gonna flop. Go woke, go broke motherfuckers. They've been bitching about Elliot Page. They've been bitching about Lupita Nyong'o for months and months and months and months and months. No one gives a shit. No one, and these people need to understand that, like, when they complain about fucking Supergirl flopped not because those fucking assholes made fucking videos about it. It flopped because no one, look, the movie didn't look interesting. I'm a superhero. I'm a comic book guy. I love this shit. I didn't even go fucking watch this movie. I got the cup, but I haven't fucking watched the movie. So they think that they have all this fucking influence and they can control the box office. And when they complain about a movie, when they start a campaign, and Elon fucking Musk, when they start a campaign that it's gonna fucking flop, no one gives a shit about these people. Normal people chose not to watch Supergirl because it looked generic. The trailers looked generic. The movie didn't look any good. They're like, yeah, we're going to skip this one. We're going to watch it at home. They saw the trailer for the Odyssey. They don't give a shit that there's a black actress in there. They don't give a shit that Elliot Page is in there. They're like, this looks like a fucking epic movie. And the last 3 Nolan movies we watched, we fucking loved. So of course we're going to trust this guy and go fucking watch this movie in theaters. So I just love that the response to this has been so fucking positive. Colin Love says London IMAX sold out for every single day, impossible to watch. See, that's guys, I was telling, I get Colin, don't worry, you can still watch it in regular theater. If you can, try to get your hands on like a 70mm screening that doesn't have to be IMAX, but watch it in the original film print like Nolan would have loved. You will still enjoy the living shit out of this movie. Don't like, when I talk about IMAX all the time, that's because I'm kind of an IMAX snob. I kind of like, I want it to be as perfect as can be. But like, you don't have to, don't listen to me. You are going to love it. You're going to have an incredible experience. Like Chris watched it in a regular theater, I think. So, Chris, let people know how you felt about it watching it. Whoever watched it already here, just reassure everyone that you will still enjoy it in a regular theater. Now, but I did warn you guys, when I bought my ticket a month and a half ago, should have been a sign for you to buy your tickets as well. So this is one of those situations where there's not enough IMAX screens. Honestly, this is kind of a problem though, right? They don't have enough IMAX screens. And apparently, like, they forgot how to build those projectors. Like, they're trying to retrofit projectors. And those that are breaking down, they barely know how to fucking make those work anymore. So IMAX genuinely needs to invest in more theaters, because it is kind of fucked up to promote a movie as, this was filmed in IMAX, this was filmed in IMAX, watch it in IMAX, watch it in IMAX. Then you go to find fucking IMAX tickets, and there's 80 theaters in the whole fucking world, not even 80 theaters, 80 screens in the whole world that can actually show it in the preferred aspect ratio. That's fucking crazy. So I do understand how fucking annoying that can be. Right? Like, the movie's been pitched as the first film ever filmed in IMAX. You need to watch it in IMAX. It is kind of fucked up that you're like, okay, fuck, you sold me on it. You go online to buy IMAX tickets and you can't find any fucking IMAX tickets. I feel what you guys are going through. The only reason I was able to get a ticket was because as I was live streaming a couple months ago, you know, I was like, shit, I think I'm going to be in the States while the movie's out. Let me look for IMAX tickets. So I happened to find a few, and I was like, shit, I'm buying those tickets right fucking now. And yeah, I had to book my tickets a month and a half in advance. So it's crazy. And now that the movie is out in IMAX and the word has come out now of how amazing it is, it's going to be hard to find any tickets. But the good news is there's nothing else coming in IMAX until Dune 3. So you have from now until Dune comes out to try to catch it in IMAX. So try to go as far out as you can and book those tickets. You can still go watch it in regular theater if you just want to get the story out of the way, but In my opinion, it is worth watching in IMAX. Only if you can. But if you can't, you're going to enjoy the living shit out of this on a regular screen. I promise you. Colin says, I need it to be on IMAX for a whole year. It's pretty crazy. Haley with another $5 dono. Thank you so much, Haley. Says, fuck it. I want a cinema to throw me on a horse at 4DX. Then fucking do the 4DX thing. You're going to break your neck, though. Take a thing for your neck and put like pillows around you. And watch out. Chris says Spider-Man is coming this week. Well, Spider-Man, at least in the States, doesn't have any IMAX screens. Spider-Man is going to get those X screens, Special X or whatever. So IMAX is booked for Odyssey. What they do in Lebanon, I don't know if they have a separate deal. If they have a backdoor deal, like, hey, we're going to get Odyssey out. We're going to put Spider-Man instead of it. What I know is Spider-Man isn't getting an IMAX release, and even Avengers Doomsday isn't getting an IMAX release. When Avengers Doomsday comes out, Dune is going to have all those screens, and Avengers is not going to get the IMAX screens. So if they're following the actual IMAX contracts and deals here, Spider-Man should not be getting an IMAX screen in Lebanon. If Spider-Man does end up getting an IMAX screen, that is like an exception, or that is a decision made by the local theater here. That has nothing to do with IMAX, because IMAX have it booked for Odyssey. So that's what it is, Chris. So if IMAX does show Spider-Man here, they're not supposed to. They're like, literally, they're not. It's in the contract. Like, IMAX, Odyssey has those IMAX tickets, theaters booked until Dune 3 comes out. So, but yeah, just tons of money. Even though I would have loved to see, like, Spider-Man was made for IMAX. Like, Spider-Man swinging around New York. Are you kidding me? Like, this is made for a massive fucking screen, right? So, like, kind of a shame. And Odyssey worldwide is currently at $639 million. Guys, keep in mind, that is just in like 2 weekends. After not even 2 full weeks, 2 weekends. It's now expected to earn at least $1.3 billion worldwide. You guys want to hear something else that's crazy? Let me just make sure that it's right. Okay, yeah. You guys want to hear something fucking crazy? I just had to double check it on Google. So the movie is expected to make $1.3 billion worldwide now. Do you know how much Christopher Nolan is going to get paid for this? So he got paid $20 million up front to direct this. Nice little chunk of change. $20 million, not bad. He's also getting a 20% cut of the box office gross. 20% cut of the box office gross. Not 20% of the net profits. So if Odyssey makes $1.3 billion, that doesn't mean that Universal Studios is going to take that $1.3 billion, put it in their pockets. No, the movie costs like $230 million. You have to, movie theaters keep 50% of the ticket sold. So if a movie costs $230 million, you have to assume it needs to make like $500 million to break even, right? So $500 million. So the theater, if it makes $1.3 billion, the theater would keep maybe $800 million to $600 million. Christopher Nolan is keeping 20% of the full gross. So if the movie makes $1.3 billion, Christopher Nolan gets to pocket 20% of $1.3 billion. That motherfucker is walking out of this fucking movie with at least $200 million in his fucking pocket. And guess what? That sounds like an insane number, and it is. But he fucking deserves it, because you know what? The people that are showing up to watch the Odyssey are showing up because of Christopher Nolan. He is the last living director. There's a couple more. You got Christopher Nolan, who's the #1 by far, who people will show up just for his name. Quentin Tarantino, the nasty-ass fucking Zionist. Disgusting. But he is still one of the few directors that will bring people out just based on his name. Like, this movie's directed by Quentin Tarantino, people will show up. Ryan Coogler is an up-and-coming director who is now, I think, has the capability to sell movies based on his name. Sinners made a whole fucking bunch of money, and Ryan Coogler is going into the Christopher Nolan route. He filmed parts of Sinners in IMAX, and Sinners did great in IMAX. And just at Comic-Con, just a couple of days ago, he announced that he's filming Black Panther 3. He busted out like a giant 70 millimeter film reel from his pocket. He's like, we're filming it. He's like, we're shooting Black Panther 3 on a big format. So now Ryan Coogler has been bit by the IMAX bug, just like Christopher Nolan. So I think Ryan Coogler can also now sell movies based on his name alone. Because at this point, he's made Creed, he's made Fruitvale Station, he made Black Panther. And now with Sinners, I think any upcoming movie that says directed by Ryan Coogler is going to bring the fucking people in. Spielberg, too, I agree with Billy Beelzebub. Spielberg also can sell, like, Disclosure Day, right? Didn't make massive box office, massive like blockbuster numbers, but it made pretty decent money. And that's just because of Steven Spielberg. Also, I think Jordan Peele, surprisingly, I think Jordan Peele, while his movies haven't been great ever since Get Out, every movie he's made, which was, what did he make? He made This Is Us, right? Was it This Is Us or Us? Just Us? Movie wasn't great, still made a whole bunch of money. Nope, movie wasn't fantastic. I liked Nope, but still made a bunch of money. I think Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, Tarantino, Spielberg, and Christopher Nolan. And now I think I would also maybe add Greta Gerwig. After her success with Barbie, I think Greta Gerwig might be able to join this club. But these people sell their name. Chris says Martin Scorsese. Yes and no. Yes and no. But I would maybe add Scorsese, but to a lesser degree. To a lesser degree. To a lesser degree, I would say Scorsese at this point. But I think Ryan Coogler, I would put the top two right now. I think it's Christopher Nolan, Ryan Coogler, maybe even Jordan Peele. Paul Thomas Anderson, not at the box office. I don't think so. Paul Thomas Anderson will get people in, but not at the level, not blockbuster levels. You don't hand them a $100 or $200 million budget with the confidence that you're going to make your money back. Christopher Nolan at this point is the only fucking guy. Oh, Denis Villeneuve, actually, I think. Yes, Denis Villeneuve is fucking awesome. Yes, Denis Villeneuve is also, I think, is getting there. Denis Villeneuve, how could I forget? The director of Dune, Arrival, Incendie. Denis Villeneuve is fucking great. How could I forget Denis? Denis is fucking... And Denis also knows how to work with IMAX, these large formats. He makes his movies for fucking IMAX, so sorry about that. Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, Ryan Coogler, to me, are the top three right now directors working today. Not that they're the most talented or the best, but they put butts in seats. Butts in seats. Chris says, James Cameron, we've only had Avatar. With James Cameron, the pool of his recent movies, he's literally just made 3 Avatar movies. So I don't know if James Cameron, if he makes something other than Avatar, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Avatar. The first one, yeah, they made $1 billion, but that's because of, like, it was such a unique experience with the 3D and the motion capture. Like, there was a lot going for it other than James Cameron, you know? Nightmare Schwal says, Robert Eggers. I'd like to agree with you, but Robert Eggers' movies are kind of flopping at the box office, you know? Northman didn't make a lot of money. Lighthouse didn't make a lot of money. Nosferatu didn't make a lot of money. He's fantastic. He's extremely talented. I love watching his movies, but he's not a draw at the level that these guys are. They are not butts and seats kind of guys, you know? You need to get butts and seats. You got to get them butts and seats. So, yeah, but Christopher Nolan is getting 20% of the full box office. Isn't that fucking insane? Why can't I fucking close these? Is it pinned? What the fuck? Okay. So yeah, it's going to make about 1.3 billion worldwide. That's what we're looking at right now. Also, IMAX China is preparing to dedicate the vast majority of its nearly 800 screen network to the Odyssey when it opens in mainland China on August 14th. Christopher Nolan and Matt Damon will also attend the film's Beijing premiere on July 30th, making the first red carpet for a commercial film ever held at the China National Film Museum. Now, China is a few years ago, China, like 10 years ago or something, China was getting in a lot of Hollywood movies. They were getting so many movies in the States. So there was a year or two where movies were making $1 billion like it was fucking candy. This movie made $1 billion. This movie made $1.5 billion. This movie made $1.3 billion because China is the second largest movie market on the fucking planet, if not the largest. Movies could literally live or die if they got a release in China and if their movie made a lot of money in China. Then, a few years ago, China banned most Hollywood movies and they started being like, okay, we're only going to allow like 5 to 10 movies to show up in Chinese theaters. So now that Nolan is actually getting an IMAX release in fucking China, bro, this movie's going to make 1.5 billion. Now, will the Chinese people actually show up to watch it? I don't know. But if it does well in China, this movie can make potentially $1.5 billion, dude. You don't, like, China is a massive, massive, massive market. So, also going to be fucking insane. So, that is just going to be, this is just another notch in its belt, you know? Now, let's talk about some cope. Let's talk about some fucking cope, shall we? Okay, look at this. This was July 21st. Look at this. Mr. Obvious says, breaking, the Odyssey is faking ticket sales by buying up theaters and seats to make the movie look like a success. It's already 400 million in the hole. Moviegoers are reporting having to take terrible seats because full. When they show up, the theaters are mostly empty. Now again, this fucking guy says the theater is mostly empty. Let me just show you again what my theater looked like, and you tell me if this looks fucking empty. Does this look like a mostly empty theater? One second, let's expand this. Does this look empty to you guys? Does this full fucking house, does this look empty? Does it look like my sister and I showed up to an empty theater thinking it was fully booked? Oh, look, there's actually no one sitting around, huh? There's no one here. Look at this. Look at how this is a full fucking house. And I had to buy my ticket a month and a half in advance. I got y'all in the chat being like, I can't buy IMAX tickets for the next 3 months. And these fucking people are literally like, whoa, yoinksy. Those people are like literally, well, people are, the studio is buying their own tickets to not make it look like a failure. And then if you go to like, these are some posts on like Reddit, look at this. Sister works at a theater in Reno and said the same thing. Corporate even told them to be ready for full house nights the first couple weekends due to ticket sales, but it's not adding up for them either. A location I had also had expected full house from morning till night. Something's not adding up here. If there was a way we could prove this was true, it'd be hilarious. The tickets were on sale for a year. Lots of people bought them a year ago and may not remember they have them or care about the movie anymore. If you're a big fan of Nolan, I'm sure you bought it without hesitation. Then you saw the casting, the vernacular, the costumes, and the rap they added. A lot of those people probably just wrote off the ticket and stayed home. This guy says it's called money laundering. That's honestly upsetting. Front rows are brutal. I get there's assigned seating now, but I would have moved to more comfortable seats after a while. Like, of course, if the theater's fucking empty, you think the motherfucker's gonna sit in the front fucking row? Dude, the cope, I've never seen people coping this fucking hard in my fucking life. Look at this. There's some more cope. DeLorean says, remembering our fallen comrades from the Critical Drinker subreddit who doubted that Nolan's Odyssey would struggle to crack 800 million and never make a billion. Look at this. This movie says, this movie isn't hitting a billion. It will struggle to crack 800 million. This will drop like a rock in its second weekend. So it dropped 30% in its second weekend and made $87 million, which is almost what it should have made in its opening weekend. It's making tons of fucking money. This will drop like a rock on its second weekend because of all the advanced ticket sales and must-see opening weekend. People have already seen it. So it's already at almost $700 million and it's going to crack 1 billion in like 10 fucking days or some shit. This guy, look at this. Everyone is calling the Odyssey a woke box office success and it's massive cope. What they aren't telling you is how much they actually spent on marketing the film. Even so, the movie still has to make 750 million just to break even. He says it won't. It's already at 640 million in like 2 weekends. So, insane. Look at this. What did you say? Yeah, this is like their post. The Odyssey success is inspiring unprecedented levels of cope. Yeah, everybody knows that this is fucking, like, pathetic. And look, this was a funny response. The Odyssey, when the movie's announced, it's woke, it's going to flop. Then it gets 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics are paid off. Let the audience decide. Then it gets 97% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is rigged. The real test is the box office. Then it makes 264 million in its opening weekend. With marketing, it needs 700 million to break even. It has no legs. So like they keep every week, the Odyssey shuts them up and they find another fucking thing to complain about. Now, people are the studio is buying tickets and they're buying tickets so that it doesn't look like a failure. And when you actually show up to the theater, it's fucking empty. Like that's the levels of cope these people are fucking doing right now. It's fucking hilarious. Now let's go. This is the Critical Drinker. This guy and Nerdrotic have been the two top haters of this movie. They have not shut the fuck up about the Odyssey for months and months and months. All their videos have been, this is woke trash, woke garbage, Elliot Page, Lupita Nyong'o, Elliot Page, Lupita Nyong'o, we don't want trans people, we don't want black people, we want our mythology white, blah, blah, blah. Him and Nerdrotic have been the leaders of the pack, okay? Nerdrotic is Papa Incel. This guy's a little jealous. This guy wants to be Papa Incel, but he can't. Yeah, so yeah, look at this. Now they want this fucking guy to make it. Insane. So let's just look up in Critical Drinker. Let's just write Odyssey box office and let's see some of the fucking cope live on their fucking subreddit. Look at this. Odyssey week 1 total of 344 million, 408 until it breaks even. Okay, this was 5 days ago. Odyssey yet to crack 300 mil, needs 750 million just to break even. Let's just look at what they have to say here. So these are the Critical Drinkers fans on Reddit. Let's see how they're coping. The idiots will see this and probably celebrate that the movie's grossing will be just even a tad bit higher than the budget without ever considering that there isn't just the raw budget that matters. Edit, the idiots might have many reasons to celebrate after all. But the budget was only 250 million, already made a profit. These are the same people who claim that people on welfare are good for the economy because they increase demand. What I read is it needs to make 650 to 70 million to break even. It's already at 650 million, dumb fuck. It's hard to pin down exact numbers. We don't have exact numbers on how much was spent on marketing and what the exact cut is the studio makes overall. If the studio negotiated a bigger cut with the cinemas, they obviously need less. If they spent more on marketing than the 125 mil we assume, then they obviously need more. But those numbers should be roughly what they need to make. I noticed way more advertising for them and marketing for the Odyssey than the regular film. Gotta be honest, I haven't seen a single ad for the movie. Everything I've seen about it has come through Reddit. Blah, blah, blah. 250 million budget at least. 125 mil advertising, 20% Nolan cut, 50% cinema cut. Breaking point is $900 million. Again, it's going to make a nice, cozy 1.3 billion. It's not normal that the director gets 20%, but Nolan is Nolan. There will be some type of tax break or subvention that will lower. So now they're all about like, well, it's not exactly, it's making hundreds of millions of dollars, but like, how profitable is it really? Motherfucker, who gives a shit? Are you fucking a stock owner? Do you own stock at Universal? The movie's making tons of fucking money. It's selling tons of fucking tickets. People are lining up. The movie's fucking sold out for 2 fucking months in IMAX theaters. And they're like, well, technically, it needs to make more money to break even. It's like, dude, they're breaking even next week. They are breaking even next fucking week, man. I'm 100% in the camp thinking this will hit its break-even point, but people acting like hitting the production budget is a success are ridiculous. Lol. Motherfucker, every single movie that these guys fucking champion like struggle to make fucking money. 125 mil spent on bot farms to convince people it's not a complete pile of shit. Look at that. Dude, who are these people? Was it really that bad? Yes, dark in places you can't see. Some places you can't make out what they're saying. A lot of parts, the volume is way too loud. It's not an easy movie to watch before all the DEI stuff. It's only made 303 million so far because of IMAX ticket sales. Without IMAX, it's 150 million tops. What DEI stuff? Name it. Let's see. I don't know what you watched, but the Odyssey was amazing. Okay, that's nice. I can't believe some people genuinely think this movie was bad. Before all the DEI stuff, and those were the best performances, why don't people complain about the white castings? They're not Greek. Interesting. Let's look at another post. These people are fucking insane. Odyssey week 1 total of 342 million, 400 million, 8 until it breaks even. These guys are fucking, dude, they're like obsessed with the box office. It's absolutely crazy that the way some of the other movie subs talk about this movie, like 300 comments all talking about how amazing this movie is in the most hyperbolic, over-the-top way, and 15,000 votes on subs that average 10 comments and 50 upvotes for a movie that might be the most meh movie I've ever seen. Yeah, bot farms are astroturfing the fuck out of this movie to try to convince people it's good. That's what these fucking guys have been doing for months. Let's just go to the Critical Drinkers YouTube channel. YouTube, let's do that. Look at that. Critical Drinker Odyssey. Let's see, huh? Let's see. 3 weeks ago, The Odyssey. Oh dear. The Odyssey, disaster. That's his review. Drinker's Chase. The Odyssey wasn't very good. The Odyssey, and this is his friend Nerdrotic, an epic disappointment. The Odyssey 2 months ago. I got a bad feeling about this one. Critical Triggers, the Odyssey review triggers. Okay, triggers massive crash outs. And again, you got Nerdrotic, both of those fuckers. The Odyssey is jarring. Christopher Nolan's woke Odyssey, an epic fail. Critical Drinker on Hollywood's collapse. Who Spiked is inviting this fucking dumbass to talk about the collapse of... Look at that. We're sick of woke. Yeah, apparently not. 1.3 fucking billion worldwide. Drinker's Chase, will the Odyssey be a box office hit or miss? Critical Drinker, the Odyssey trailer gets brutal ratio. Look at that. Obsessed. Guys, fucking obsessed. Look at that. Drinker's Chase. Nolan's Odyssey managed to anger an entire country. Look at these idiots, dude. How fucking pathetic, man. The Odyssey fans for the Critical Drinker to be destroyed. Critical Drinker just exposed Hollywood. Look at this fucking dumbass. He just exposed Hollywood for saying that the Odyssey is made. Motherfucker, just fucking enjoy the movie, you fucking losers. Just join the rest of the world and watching this fucking fun fucking epic. Don't you guys complain that you don't have it? You're sick of VFX and you're sick of green screen. Just go fucking watch this movie that was fucking made by one of the best fucking directors working today and shut the fuck up. Look at this, 2 months ago again. Drinkers Chasers, the Odyssey looks bad. Another one, Open Bar number 192, Odyssey Nuclear Backlash, Dune 3 trailer, Moana Disaster. Look at this, look at the fucking cope. And now that the movie's making a ton of money, he just shuts the fuck up. He made his fucking review. Or that's his review. Let's listen to a couple of seconds of his review.
Well, we're waiting.
Well, this one's been a long time coming. Several days longer than I expected, if I'm honest. Mostly because of the fine people at American Airlines, who managed to cancel my flights not once but 2 days in a row, forcing me to embark on my own personal odyssey just to get home. It wasn't all bad though. All that enforced leisure divisive movie of 2020 bingo card for this year, it's that the most contentious, bitterly controversial and divisive movie of 2026 would be made by Christopher Nolan of all people. Depending on who you talk to, the Odyssey is either a disgusting cinematic abomination that completely subverts and disrespects Homer's original work while shamelessly pandering to the mythical modern audience, or an undisputed masterpiece of film, the crowning achievement of Nolan's career and a strong
Yeah, I'd say it's a fucking masterpiece compared to that first fucking option you gave.
candidate for the greatest thing the human race has ever achieved. Fucking calm down, love. But no
Wait,
matter,
you want to hear something sad?
strong candidate for the greatest thing the human race has ever achieved.
This shot isn't in the movie anymore. This fucking shot, which I think was probably the fucking nicest shot of the trailer, this was cut out of the movie. This exact shot, this scene is still there. Them pulling the horse out of the water is still there. But this exact shot, this exact frame, no longer, not in the film. Not in the film. Okay, let's see some of the comments, by the way. Like, stopped my trip to the bar for this. So I gather that this is our best interest to avoid American Airlines at all costs. Okay, berated by the spirit of Elliot Page is how we've all felt since 2016. Berated by the spirit of... Oh, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, what has Elliot Page done to these fucking people, man? They're so upset to see someone just fucking just exist. I'm utterly devastated that Pedro Pascal didn't show up anywhere in this entire movie. I've seen Greek statues who can emote more than Zendaya. Christopher Nolan saw Matt Damon and Team America World Police and thought so much untapped potential. Zendaya made $8 million to stare at Matt Damon for a few minutes. Insane. Zendaya was casted because Dune set was close by and she didn't need to change clothes. So, lovely.
Achieved. Fucking calm down, love. But no matter which side of the divide you come down on, half the movie-going world is going to despise you until the end of time itself.
Welcome to America.
Here's the thing though, dear viewer, real life is a bit more complicated and nuanced than that, and as it turns out, so is the Odyssey. And now that I've had a chance to experience Christopher Nolan's wannabe magnum opus for myself, what is my verdict? Meh. I know that sounds like a bit of a weird reaction considering all the hype around this film, but it's the word that best...
Weird reaction, motherfucker. You've spent the last 10 months telling everyone this movie's gonna suck and be a flop. Of course you're gonna say meh. Of course you're not gonna like it. Do you think your audience would still fucking send you super chat money or watch your fucking videos if after all the DEI shit you've talked about, all the fucking racist and bigoted shit you fucking said, if you actually dared to come out and say you liked it? These motherfuckers probably fucking loved the film, but they can't fucking say it. That's what's so sad. Can you imagine watching a movie and being like, I have to tell people that I hated this because if I tell them anything else, I'm going to lose all my credibility from all my racist, bigoted fucking fans? Like, now they all have to fucking sit there and explain to you why Christopher Nolan fucking sucks? Like, what the fuck? You couldn't have chosen another, like, there's tons of directors that you can point to, be like, well, this guy fucking sucks. This movie's going to be shit. Fuck it. Keep making fun of Supergirl. Fuck, just go back to making Supergirl videos. Leave Christopher Nolan out of this, man. Like, they can't admit that they like it. That's the problem. They've made their reputation, their fortunes, their channel, it's all based on the fact that they hate everything. That's it. That's it. Politics says, I'm sorry, I like Mahler videos. He's critical. All these people are fucking, they're all disgusting. Like, I can't fuck with any of them. I'm sorry. Like, they're all disgusting. Mahler, Flash, what are the Geeks and Gamers, Film Threat. They're all disgusting. Like, fuck all those fucking bigots, man. I can't stand any of them. I used to watch Nerdrotic when he did Game of Thrones reviews for season 8, and I was like, damn, this guy's fucking funny. This dude's hilarious. Then I was like, oh wait, all he does is shit on stuff. Like, fuck that guy. That's it. They found a way to monetize people's anger. They create and manufacture outrage. They create and manufacture outrage and then monetize that outrage week after week after week after week. And by doing that, they're turning their fans and movie-going the movie going public into more little toxic little pieces of shit. It's not even fun to talk about movies anymore on the internet. It used to be kind of fun back in the day. Now it's all just like, oh, this is woke. It's like, dude, I can't, like, it's not fun anymore.
Sums up my feelings by the time the credits rolled. I just didn't feel much of anything. For all the controversies and culture warfare swirling around it, The Odyssey was pretty much exactly what I expected from a late-stage Christopher Nolan film. Technically impressive and commendably ambitious, visually dour and bleak, emotionally sterile and weirdly lacking in pace, urgency, or satisfying payoffs.
So I thought the payoffs were great. I thought the pace was fantastic, and it wasn't dour at all. Like, it's...
And bleak, emotionally sterile, and weirdly lacking in pace.
It's one of Nolan's few movies that actually is not emotionally sterile, and that's something that I always say about his movies. Like, they kind of leave me feeling cold, you know? I kind of walk out being like, yeah, like Interstellar had that great scene at the end, but like most of his movies, I don't get emotionally involved. I was emotionally involved in this. I was on the edge of my fucking seat, bruv.
Urgency or satisfying payoffs, populated by cold, distant characters that give nothing away and invite no empathy from the audience, dialogue that's jarringly clunky and on the nose, often delivered by talented but miscast actors, and ultimately, an ending that fails to capitalize on its incredible build-up. It's a movie about love, yearning, adventure, wonder, mysticism, and epic mythology woven together by a man who either can't or won't understand any of those things. The Odyssey picks up about 20 years after the fall of Troy.
Anyways, so of course he's gonna say, it's me. Let's see what Nerdrotic had to say. He says, an epic disappointment. And they both kind of look. He says, a disastrous triumph. This guy says, epic disappointment. So they're trying to compliment it while also hating on it. Like, epic disappointment. Disastrous triumph. So they're trying to hedge their bets now. They're trying to be like, well, look, I didn't say I hated it. I'm saying that it's kind of good, but like, you know, it's kind of woke. It's like just fucking pathetic. Let's see Nerdrotic real quick, what he has to say.
What was your driving force behind it?
Emma was my driving force behind it, so she could speak to that.
Well.
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity or your Hollywood career?
Well, you know, it's always been a battle. I mean, you know, Hollywood is not the most accepting place.
No Greek accent.
When I think about equality or equity, I don't think about taking...
Oh no, look at these actors talking about equality. This movie's some DEI trash. Look, he's starting his review. Look at how he starts his review. He's already painting... he's already making a narrative for his audience. Like, look at all these non-white actors talking about how they want equality, how they want more representation, blah, blah, blah. This is woke garbage. This is how he's starting his fucking review. What does this have to do with reviewing the movie? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
From a male figure. I think about getting what is due to me.
If you don't create great Latin roles, how are we going to get nominated?
In history, women have been vilified, whether you're a midwife, whether you're, a herbalist, whether you're a healer, whether you're just in tune with the moon. Like, women have just been vilified throughout history.
Especially being a Latin man, I want to be the one has the agency. So I choose the roles I want to be, and I want to be as varied and as complex as Latin people can be.
Looking at nature as if it's some sort of cis heteropatriarchal structure is absurd, and that this, gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth.
Dumb bitch.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you...
Jesus Christ, man. Look at that. Just calling Elliot Page a dumb bitch for saying that, like, gender is a construct or whatever the fuck.
That we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth.
Dumb bitch.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about...
These people are full of hate. They're so fucking bigoted. And they're just monetizing that hate and spreading hate on the internet week after week after week over fucking movies. Over fucking movies, man. Like, instead of celebrating the fact that Elliot Page can now get a fucking incredible role in the most epic fucking movie of the year. And again, I commend Christopher Nolan for giving his buddy, his fucking friend, his fucking collaborator, an opportunity to show what they can do on the biggest fucking screen possible. I think that's fucking awesome. And that just speaks to Nolan's character as a person, as a human being, as a fucking friend. More than any fucking woke DEI bullshit that they want to try to spin it into.
The screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them. Okay.
Nerderotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. It is without a doubt Christopher Nolan is Hollywood's last movie star and the last director where every time he releases a film, it is a genuine event. He's the only director in Tinseltown who can put butts in seats on his name alone. The only other name that comes close is old Jimmy Cameron, and he's only made 3 movies in the last 17 years about indigenous blue furry space people that are a practice in misanthropy. While they do make a lot of money, I think they're awful. Simply put, Christopher Nolan is the king of Hollywood. Yet it's been quite an odyssey to get to his latest film, The Odyssey, one that was unexpected expected. When it was announced in December of 2024, I would argue it was met with overwhelming excitement. Certainly there were some questions, even from his biggest fans, about Christopher Nolan taking this big swing and adapting something that is the foundation of all of Western civilization storytelling, a mythological tale that's essentially epic fantasy, which could be perceived as out of his wheelhouse, but those were far and few between, and quite frankly, normal questions and nothing you would consider controversial until a month later when the casting was announced. And when it was originally announced, nobody really knew who was playing who, but in particular, Travis Scott, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, and Elliot Page.
They're not concerned about the white people playing Greeks. No. Why are there black people in this? What? Why is Travis Scott in this? Why is Zendaya? Why is Lupita Nyong'o? Why is Elliot Page here? So it's very clear what they think. Haley D with the $5 donor. Thanks so much, Haley. It's very kind. Says eventually they'll just be making this content for bots, though. Look at Daily Wire, and they had a lot of money. See, I know, but then also, like, this content really does do well online. Sometimes I go like, man, should I have just taken the easy way out? Should I have just made right-wing fucking chud content? Who would have known? No one would have known. I could fucking sit and be like, oh, look at these woke assholes. Look at this woke DEI bullshit. Just get some fucking super chats. Get people all riled up and angry in my chat. It's the easy way to make money online now. Just fucking hate everything. This movie sucks. This movie looks woke. This is shit. This is garbage. Woke trash. Disney shill. Horrible. Gay Hollywood, whatever the fuck. This is what makes money online now. Just fucking right-wing chud incel hate. Taking advantage of all these fucking weirdos online and just making content just for them. Hateful, spewing hateful rhetoric, bigoted rhetoric.
More than a few eyebrows, but didn't hurt the excitement for the film, considering 70mm screens sold out a year in advance. All was quiet for a while until the red flags went up when we found out who was playing who, including Zendaya playing Athena and Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. But the most controversial casting of them all is Elliot Page, who was rumored to play Achilles, which ended up not being true. Elliot Page ended up being cast as Sinon, a character.
Elliot, he's saying Elliot because it's not supposed to be Elliot Page. Elliot, and it's an alien. Get it? Funny, hilarious. They're so funny over there.
Who wasn't even in the Iliad or the Odyssey. As bad as that was, what made things worse was the perceived association Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey had with Emily Wilson's feminist translation of Homer's work.
And by the way, Emily Wilson hates the movie. I think that's the person you were talking about in chat.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention our brothers and sisters who are history enthusiasts who were pointing out the inaccuracy of the armor and, I don't know, the Viking.
It's not a historical epic. It's a fucking fantasy, you fucking nerds. Look at this fucking loser with his fucking stupid ass outfit. He has a fucking dragon behind him. Is that dragon accurate to the fucking history, you dumb fuck? Or is it a mythological fucking beast, you stupid fucking idiot? You dumb fuck, dude. They're so fucking annoying.
Sisters who are history enthusiasts who were pointing out the inaccuracy of the armor and, I don't know, the Viking ship that apparently identifies as a Greek ship. And then there's the overall Hollywood hypocrisy of an industry that is absolutely obsessed with identity, yet they ignored the identity of the country of origin of Homer's poem, Greece.
Sinon, I don't think it was in the Odyssey. I think Sinon was in the Iliad. But he kind of was merged into the story because this story touches a lot on what happened in Troy.
Hypocrisy that was best exemplified in two separate posts from Variety on X, the first one of which Moana creatives on working closely to honor Polynesian culture and traditions and why representation matters. Yet it appears that Variety completely forgot that just a month earlier, when people were genuinely asking why doesn't representation matter in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, they clap back with these are just trolls who have a silly and wildly inaccurate.
It's so fucking stupid. How many stories that revolve around Polynesian characters exist? Moana's probably the only one. So of course, when there's like one movie about a Polynesian princess, they're gonna try to keep it true to the fucking legacy and to the fucking culture of Polynesia. Because if you made Moana white, it destroys the whole fucking purpose of it even fucking existing. But how many myths, how many stories are there already? For how many years have white people been overly represented in cinema, in film? Everything is white. Everyone has always been white. All leading actors have been white since the fucking dawn of time. So nowadays, you know what I mean? When you can take some creative liberties, you take creative liberties. But making a movie that is all about Polynesian culture and not respecting the Polynesian culture makes no fucking sense. I don't understand like why they don't. Why do they respect the culture in Moana but not in the Odyssey? Why not? Because there are no other fucking Polynesian stories. It's like doing Black Panther and making him white. That makes no fucking sense.
Accurate argument. And just like that, the Odyssey dived headfirst into the culture war. There were criticisms from many, including Elon Musk, and the unthinkable happened. A Christopher Nolan film was ratioed on YouTube, leading...
They live by this fucking plugin. It got ratioed. It's making $1.3 billion. What does the YouTube ratio fucking mean? Drax is not having any Greek actors was kind of weird. I agree. I agree. At least have one Greek actor play like one massive role as like a nod to Greece. That's the most I would say. Like fucking do it. You know what I mean? But like what they're gonna cast a whole bunch of Greek actors. Who's gonna give Christopher Nolan the $200 million budget to make a movie with just Greek actors? I'm sorry. You still need to put some bankable fucking faces on there, or else the movie would have never been made. It literally would have never been made.
Many to believe that this film would be a flop based on everything they've seen from Hollywood over the last 10 years. Eventually, the corporate critics and influencers were allowed to see the film, and unsurprisingly, the corporate critics and influencers overwhelmingly love it. And once again, I'm going to have to differ.
But only the corporate critics and the influencers loved it. What about normal fucking people? What about normal like me? I'm not even a critic. Am I a corporate critic? I'm a normal fucking moviegoer, bruv. But no, we're not allowed to like it. It's only paid shows and corporate critics. All normal people, like the people subscribed to my channel, Nerdrotic, don't like it. So it's just more of that. We don't need to finish that. These two other fucking losers on Film Threat. These two fucking guys. Look at this.
It's time to talk the Odyssey. You saw our Out of the Theater review. Let's go into it. Alan, your review posted on Film Threat, and I'm not going to bury the lead. You gave it a 4 out of 10. Tell us why and tell us what's in your review.
Tell us why. I mean, I mentioned it. It's probably one of the most pretentious movies I've seen in a long time. Look, this should have been an epic. And I'll say this, just
this fucker, by the way, this guy who gave it a 4 out of 10, who makes all his money now by shitting on movies on his fucking YouTube channel, calling everything woke, calling everything DEI. That's literally what he makes. That's how these two guys make money now. Literally by fucking hating on shit. This fucking guy gave a UV Bowl movie that just came out starring the cannibal guy. What's his name? What's the new UV Bowl movie? Army Hammer? Citizen Vigilante. That guy gave Citizen Vigilante. Let's see what it's. Let's see Rotten Tomatoes for Citizen. He gave it a 7 out of 10. Citizen Vigilante. Okay. Let's check. Where's the Rotten Tomatoes? Okay. This guy who gave the Odyssey a 4 out of 10 gave this movie that has a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. He gave it a 7 out of 10. Based on 20 years. Let's find his review. Let's find this dumbass fucking review. Armand White, this guy's the worst fucking critic of all time. Let's see. Are there 2 people that gave it? How many people gave it a... Okay, Peter. This guy, Alan NG, 7.5 out of 10. The Citizen Vigilante understands exactly what it's tapping into, even when it pushes further than most filmmakers would dare. Look at 0 out of 5, 1 out of 5, F, 0.5 out of 5. Like, no one's taking this fucking movie seriously, but this guy, Alan, 7 out of 10. He's one of only 2 positive reviews on this fucking piece of trash, and he's giving Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey fucking 4 out of 10. This is just what you have to just keep that in mind. Yeah?
Just because you make an epic, it doesn't mean that it isn't epic or should be treated as thus. And the immediate comparison has to be Lord of the Rings. This one just... I don't know. There was so much wrong with this movie. I'll start with the acting. You mentioned it before.
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. If he doesn't say he hated it, guess what? No super chats for Alan. Oh, no. Alan, remember, you got to tell your fans. You've been telling them this movie's going to suck for 8 months. What do you think? You're going to come out and say, actually, I was wrong. It was great. You've been you let the script leak. You've leaked the script months ago. We know what you guys think. This movie's gonna suck. It's woke. It's DEI. Not a single one of those fucking guys that has been shitting on the movie for the past year has come out and said that they liked it. Of course they can't. They would literally lose all their fucking credibility. No more ad revenue. No more super chats. No more. I'm not gonna be called into on FNT. Like, it's all like, that's it. They have to keep up the act. They have to fucking tell you they hated it. They have to fucking do this. They have to fucking run around in circles to convince you that Christopher Nolan's Odyssey is fucking woke trash. It's boring. It's not nice. Now look, you can genuinely, you don't have to fucking love it. You can genuinely feel that way. But like, these guys who have been telling you it's gonna suck for 8 months, you can't fucking believe them. When Chris tells me in the chat, like, hey, I was kind of disappointed, I didn't feel much, I believe Chris. You know why? Because Chris hasn't spent the last year telling me that the movie looks like woke trash, that he hates trans people, that he hates black people. None of that. So when Chris goes and watches it with an open mind and comes out and says, you know what? I liked it, but I didn't love it. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a fair review. I believe you because you're a normal fucking person. But if Chris had spent the last year being like, I don't like woke shit. I don't like DEI. I don't like Elliot Page. Why is Elliot Page in the movie? Why is this black person in the movie? Then of course when he tells me, yeah, I didn't like it, I'm like, oh, fucking surprise. You shocked me there. Like, these guys have spent, again, the last fucking year telling you this movie's gonna be shit. What do you expect this shit's gonna be? Let's scroll down. Look at all their content, dude. Why are critics afraid to admit the Odyssey isn't good? Look at this. No one really likes the Odyssey. Look at the fucking cope, man. Apparently people are just scared to say they don't like it. Fans want spectacle. Chudossey? Odyssey-a-palooza. Rewatch review. It's just constantly trying to talk about the fucking Odyssey. Hollywood's double standards. Irrelevant. Selling a lie. Epic fail for Nolan. Look at this. Look at these fuckers, man. Attendance versus box office. Gunn's failure is complete. Homer hates women. You've got to entertain. Like, it's just constantly obsessing over this shit. Oh, you guys couldn't see any of that. Sorry.
And I mentioned it then. I was seeing Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland on screen as Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, and Tom Holland. There was very little effort given to characterization. I will say that there was only really one actor who gave, I think, the best characterization. That's probably Samantha Morton as the witch.
As Circe.
Yeah, as Circe. You know, it's like
she was great. I think Robert Pattinson, dude, everyone was fucking fantastic.
You know, she brought this energy to this film that just wasn't there. The dialogue. I mean, I've never seen. Look, I saw your review of on the Nooner today. You said that Anne Hathaway was overly emotional and crying. My feeling was that Anne Hathaway was fine. It was her supporting actors who were so low energy that it made her performance look over the top. I just, you know, the Matt Damon was just so glum and one note in terms of deliverance of lines.
I mean, look what's right behind him. Literally Trojan horse shit. You think a guy with a picture that says Trojan horse shit behind him is going to be like, yeah, I actually liked it. The guy who spent the last 8 months telling you this is going to bomb, this is going to bomb, it's not going to be good, it's not going to be good. They have to fucking they have to cash those checks. Cash those checks, Alan. Cash those checks, Alan. Good for you, man. Good for you. So anyways, yeah, we can't take these people seriously. Also, Elon Musk. Look at this. Shares this. Look at this. Dialogue scene from Homer's Odyssey built on Grok Imagine. Thread on how this was built below. So this is what these people want, right? They just want white people. Let's see. This was made by AI, by the way. Grok.
I must go.
The sea will take you from me.
I will return. I left my one love. An oath called me.
So instead of having real actors on an actual boat fucking filming shit, they want to just let's make it all on Grok. We'd rather see this. Honestly, they deserve to watch AI movies. Like, that's what those people should only be allowed to watch AI generated films. Don't watch real movies anymore. Just make your own shit on Grok, prompt your own movies and watch them. I think that's why generative AI is only good for those people. Just go ahead and fucking put Sydney Sweeney in every role. That's what they want, right? They want every woman to be played by Sydney Sweeney. With AI, you could do that. Just fuck it. Just write, hey, I want Sydney Sweeney in the Odyssey. I want her to play every female character. And we want, you know, Andrew Tate to play all the male characters.
Troy fell. We killed everything.
I'm going to mute this in case the music is... Look at that, dude. He has earplugs in his ear. Look at that. Oh, okay, no, I get why they have earplugs. But what do they have these kind of, like, what, are these foam earplugs? Are these foam? How are they, that's how they plugged their ears 4,000 years ago? Look at those white people kissing, folks. That's what they want. More whiteness. So Elon Musk quote tweets this and says, before this year ends, Grok Imagine will make a full-length movie of the Odyssey that is historically accurate and true to the art of Homer. Look at this fucking guy, dude. And then look, so that wasn't enough for people. They're like, wait, why do you want to make it with Grok? Elon, why don't you? So someone like literally tweeted to Elon Musk, why don't you give Mel Gibson $100 million to make it himself? They're like, imagine an Odyssey spoken in it, because he made Apocalypto years ago, where he had people speaking like ancient Mayan languages and stuff, which was, I fucking love Apocalypto. Fuck Mel Gibson, but Apocalypto was fucking dope. So like, hey, Mel Gibson made a movie with people's original language. Why doesn't he give him money again? Let him remake the Odyssey. By the way, can you imagine like a studio after this Odyssey makes $1.3 billion, imagine someone reinvesting another like $200 million to make another Odyssey to compete with Christopher Nolan's, and the only difference is it has no black people or no trans people. Like, they think that's gonna make fucking money. Like, that's not how Hollywood works, you fucking idiots. Anyways, imagine an Odyssey spoken in ancient Greek, recorded with historically accurate armor, with Greeks cast in it, no cringe rap videos, actually loyal to the source material. Elon Musk might make this a reality by funding Gibson. I can't find the tweet where Elon Musk was like, yeah, why not, I'll do it. Elon Musk is never going to give Mel Gibson $100 million to make another fucking Odyssey movie. But that's where they're going now. They literally want Mel Gibson to come in and like save the day and make a new Odyssey movie, bro. That's where they're at. And there's no rap video. The film starts with A$AP Rocky as a bard who's like telling a story. He's like telling a poem. It's not fucking rapping, okay? And Christopher Nolan cast it because he's like, well, modern day rappers are like bards of the ancient times. So he's just trying to make like a connection with modern times. It's an interpretation. It's called creative liberty. It's called being a fucking artist. Matt Walsh. In Apocalypto, Mel Gibson transports you into the mind of a Mayan 500 years ago. In The Northman, Robert Eggers transports you into the mind of a Viking 1,000 years ago. Yeah, both those movies fucking flopped, by the way. I'm sorry to tell you. In The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan transports you into the mind of a liberal woman in 2017. This guy probably fucking loved it too. That's the problem. But again, they have to hate it. They have to hate it. They have to farm the anger. They have to farm the hatred. Give me the super chats. Give me the money. Give me the ad revenue. Let's go. That's all it is. That's all it is. But now, here's what's funny. The Odyssey translator, Emily Wilson, slams Christopher Nolan's abysmal screenplay. I would be ashamed to have written any part of the script. So this is the person that Christopher Nolan says, I was very much inspired by Emily Wilson's translation. So he says that a lot of his work and a lot of his inspiration for this story was Emily Wilson's translation. She fucking hates it. Fair enough. You know what, don't you all love The Lord of the Rings? I love The Lord of the Rings. You know what J.R.R. Tolkien thinks of The Lord of the Rings? He fucking hates him. Well, he wasn't alive, but his son, Christopher Tolkien, straight up said, my father would have fucking hated those movies. Let's see. So now people are going to point to this like, look, the person who translated even fucking hates it. Okay. Okay. Let me try to find what he actually said. Christopher Tolkien trashes Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films, says films lack beauty and seriousness of the books in 2013. Tolkien has become a monster, devoured by his own popularity and absorbed into the absurdity of our time. So these are movies that we love, that we cherish. Tolkien's son said his dad would have fucking hated these. So, like, I respect the writer, the translator of the Odyssey for like her, in her opinion, but like the original writer, the translator of someone's work, doesn't fucking mean shit to me, honestly. Haley D with a $5 donor. Thank you so much, Haley. Thanks again. Haley, enough, Haley, please. Says they could also just watch the old Odyssey or Oh Brother We're Out Thou. Exactly. There's been tons of film adaptations of the Odyssey. There was like a TV series done in like the late 90s. There was like an Italian series made in the 90s. There are so many ways to watch the Odyssey. There are so many ways to consume the story of the Odyssey. This is just another interpretation. This is just one of them. But they got to make their money, Haley. They got to earn their super chats. They got to make, they got to get the ad revenue. They got to make 12 videos a week about how Elliot Page shouldn't be in the Odyssey. You know, them watching the old stuff isn't going to make them any money. It's literally, it's a grift. They have to make these videos. They have to keep talking about the same thing over and over again to make fucking money. That's all it is. Okay. What is this? So would Tolkien have liked the film? John Ezzard, who knew the writer in the 1960s on what he would have made of The Lord of the Rings on the big screen. I always knew that it would go, and it did, Tolkien said to me 36 years ago. He was talking then about Sarehole, the pastoral West Midlands village in which he grew up in the 1890s, the emotional heartland from which he took both the Hobbits and the Shire. But he felt the same about his whole 1,000-page Lord of the Rings trilogy. Written in my life's blood, as he put it, he was convinced that the spreading machine culture he so abhorred would win in the end, that it would get control of his work, confuse and degrade its narrative, wrench it from its roots, and turn it into a travesty of a popular film, cartoon, or comic book. Tolkien was too pessimistic. In fact, Sherhole never did go. Someone wrongly told him in old age that Birmingham had swallowed it, and he died believing this. But the core of the village, including the watermill he cherished above all, was preserved because the suburbanites who moved in after him liked it too. Lord of the Rings hasn't gone either, at least not entirely. On the evidence of the first film installment, The Fellowship of the Ring, the inner spirit of the story has survived all the machineries, compromises, sensationalisms, and hype that go with the $210 million movie juggernaut. At a preview the other night, I tried, as honestly as possible, to see the film through the eyes of the man who once befriended me as a young journalist, though I never knew him intimately, and through the lens of his writing, which I know better. The retired Oxford professor I knew would have first had to spend a day massaging his ears after a 3-hour assault from the balls, death cries, and crashing of swords against helmets on the highly amplified soundtrack. His great-grandchildren would have broken it gently to him that this is now utterly normal in any action film aimed at the youth market. Although he blithely used to say, every romance that takes things seriously must have a warp of fear and horror, he never regarded Lord of the Rings as suitable for children. But as his elf queen Galadriel says in the film's opening line, the world is changing. The Fellowship has a PG certificate. Next, he would have spent... Okay, let's listen to what Christopher Tolkien had to say. Okay, here's a direct quote from his son, okay? They gutted the book, making an action movie for 15 to 25-year-olds. And it seems that The Hobbit will be of the same ilk. Tolkien became devoured by his popularity and absorbed by the absurdity of the time. The gap widened between the beauty, the seriousness of the work, and what it has become is beyond me. This level of marketing reduces to nothing the aesthetic and philosophical significance of this work. And again, ask any fan, ask those fucking chuds themselves who fucking hate the Odyssey and say it should have been more like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Christopher Tolkien, the son of J.R.R. Tolkien, would have fucking hated the fucking movie and said that his dad would have fucking hated... My dad would have hated the movie. So, just something to keep in mind. Let's quickly read what Emily Wilson had to say, and then we shall end the stream, folks. London Review of Books, An Uncomplicated Man, Emily Wilson. 4,000 words. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Christopher Nolan's $250 million action movie version of Homer's ancient Greek poem is an entertaining way to hide from the high temperatures for a few hours. Nolan's trademark jumps and twists in the narrative structure are relatively easy to follow and appropriate for the Odyssey, a narrative of tales nested in tales. My teenagers had a good time. Unlike some of Nolan's other films, The Odyssey is not boring, thanks to the source material, which is impossible to mess up entirely. It's a family-friendly audiovisual spectacle, like an elaborate 4th of July fireworks display, and with about the same level of narrative and emotional depth. As in his previous films, Nolan is interested in the discontinuities of space and time, in magic, tricks, craft, technology, rivalry, substitution, masks, miscommunication, what we remember and what we choose to forget. Yet again, survival is portrayed as a kind of triumph. Yet again, there are long, claustrophobic scenes of drowning and near drowning, and technically impressive episodes in which buildings are engulfed in flames and vehicles explode. Yet again, we watch a male character's desperate quest to recover and or avenge a female love object. I had hoped that Nolan's affinity with these Homeric themes might push him to new creative heights and enable him to conjure more believable characters, but the Odyssey features his usual combination of grandiosity and superficiality. Without a tub of wax for my ears, which Himesh Patel's ever-anxious Eurylochus, Odysseus' doomed right-hand man, uses to sail safely past the sirens, I was exposed to the full din of thumping sticks, staffs, swords, and clashing armor, thunderbolts, crashing waves, grunts, screams, toppling palaces, and burning temples. But unlike Matt Damon, the wax-free Odysseus who was tied to the mast as he is conveyed past the sirens, naked ladies reclining on some uncomfortable-looking rocks, I gazed at the shipwrecks and bloodbaths without any agony of emotion. My eyes stayed dry, even for Argos the dog, okay, no spoilers, whose adorableness as a puppy is predictably amped up to suit our animal-loving times, if only the human characters had been treated with such serious attention. The Homeric epic was already an adaptation. The poem used a relatively new technology, the written alphabet, to rework existing mythical traditions, reshaping the story of a veteran's homecoming to resonate with the complex concerns of Greek speakers in the Archaic period, an era of migration, colonization, and urbanization. Some 7th century BCE Greek communities were ruled by an oligarchy, some by a single man. The poem traces the tension between the needs and desires of groups of men, Odysseus' comrades, or the suitors of his wife, Penelope, and those of a single powerful and cunning man who wants to rule them all and win eternal fame for himself. In a period of cultural and technological change, it explores a fantasy of going back in time as well as space, while also showing its dangers and costs. The poem wrestles with the challenges of encountering strangers, of entering their homes and welcoming or rejecting them from one's own. The contemporary resonances are obvious, and Nolan's movie hints at some of them, in interesting if scattered ways. But the film's vision is too confused, its characters too underdeveloped to deliver what it half promises in terms of big ideas. Although it is very good at conveying big bangs and big giants. Adaptations needn't and shouldn't follow the original with anything like the exactitude of a translation. Some of the best radically transform or resist the source material, providing what Harold Bloom called strong misreadings of their ancestors. The most memorable creative responses to the Odyssey, such as Euripides' Helen, Virgil's Aeneid, Milton's Paradise Lost, Joyce's Ulysses, Walcott's Omeros, Atwood's Penelopiad, Madeline Miller's Circe, or Lisa Peterson's play set in a modern migrant camp. Reconsider the poem's structure, narrative, and values. In theory, Nolan seems to understand the assignment and its hazards. His first film feature following in 1998 was a powerful black and white thriller about the fascination and dangers of tracking strangers through space and time. The hunter is more likely to become the hunted, following suggests, if the would-be stalker lacks a clear identity beyond a misplaced belief in his own ingenuity. But knowing what temptations should be avoided isn't the same as avoiding them, as Odysseus' men learned to their cost when they killed the sacred cattle of the sun. Okay, no spoilers here. Nolan's spectacle threatens to drown out his story just as the towering waves of the wine-dark sea, more gray than purple, threaten to overwhelm his hero ship. In looks, the Odyssey is often reminiscent of other 21st century screen epics, not least Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. The visit to the land of the dead reminded me of the excursions beyond the wall in Game of Thrones. At the end of the film, a character sets out to sail beyond the sunset, and I almost expected everyone to break into Elvish. The film has none of the stylish sparseness of Uberto Pasolini's The Return in 2024, starring a scarred, desperate, mostly naked Ralph Fiennes, conflicted about his homecoming to a convincingly unhappy Juliette Binoche. I need to watch this, by the way. Apparently, The Return talks about Odysseus' return, so I do want to watch that film. But I don't want to spoil anything. The race-neutral casting of Nolan's Odyssey was inevitably deplored in some quarters, but there's nothing progressive about it. Most of the non-white actors, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Himesh Patel, Corey, Antonio Hawkins, Travis Scott, play versions of the black best friend, whose only role in the drama is to provide aid to the white protagonist. Yo, that's pretty fucking racist. Scott, as the Ithacan bard, Phemius, yells a few words and pounds a stick, but does not get to sing, tell a story, or play the lyre. The most melodic note in the percussive soundtrack comes from the plucking of Odysseus' bow, a beautiful sonic image of the archer as a musician borrowed from the poem. Nyong'o's double part as Helen and Clytemnestra is hugely underwritten. She's given only a few minutes of screen time to perform a set of brief tableaux of female victims. Okay, blah, blah, blah. She hates the movie. Okay? She hates the movie. Haley says, honestly, I might drive to the IMAX just to watch the space movies. Those are fun as well. Those are fun as well, yeah. Travis Scott is in there, yeah. Okay. Sarah's asking, Anthony, when are you going to do Lego live stream? Tomorrow, Sarah, I'm going to be doing, at the very least, a haul video. I'm going to show you guys everything I got from the States. All of the shit that I need for my Star Wars mock, it's all going to be displayed on the table. It's all going to be there. So tomorrow, there's going to be a live stream on Tino's Playroom talking about all of this stuff. But yeah. Folks, everybody, I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to call it a day. Okay, I just wanted to review the movie. Okay, and I wanted to share that. Like, yeah, some people are going to hate it for better reasons than others. Some people have actual criticism of the movie. If I, like, all I'll tell you is me and my sister fucking loved it. Okay, my sister, who, like, isn't a movie buff, who's, like, a normie by all, you know, she's like a normal person. She fucking loved the movie. Myself, I consider myself a bit of a cinephile, a bit of a IMAX freak, a bit of a movie making fanatic where I love just the act of making movies. I love how movies are made. I love all the behind the scenes shit. I fucking eat that shit up, right? So I fucking enjoyed the movie as well. Now, how's it going to hold up once I see it a second time and I don't have the sheen of like the IMAX screen and all of that distracting me? Maybe I might like it less. I do plan on watching it a second time. But I genuinely thought it was an incredible movie theater experience. Okay? So I definitely recommend it to anybody who's watching this. Go watch it in the theater. Again, try to sit a bit closer to the screen than you would normally. And you're allowed to not like the movie. But I don't like it when people who have been saying that that they're not going to like the movie, that have been bitching about this movie for 10 months, calling it a woke DEI piece of shit, then pretending to like, oh yeah, I actually didn't like it. It's a piece of shit. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You have to say that. You've trained your audience to expect you to hate the stuff, so they would fucking turn on you in a second if you told them you liked it. You would lose all of your credibility with your incel chud fucking audience members. So don't listen to these fucking guys. Don't give them any more attention, because that's how they make all their money, by manufacturing anger, manufacturing hate, and monetizing it. And they're laughing all the way to the bank while you're out there fucking with your dick in your hand, angrily slamming on your laptop, but it needs to make 800 million to break even. It's not going to make it. Motherfucker, they don't give a shit. They're laughing all the way to the bank. They're taking your money, your time, and they're paying their bills with that shit. They're buying big houses. They're buying nice cars, whatever the fuck they want to do while you're out there angry and confused as to why do people like the Odyssey? And you're a less fucking well-adjusted human being. You're going to go out into the real world where it's not Reddit, where it's not Twitter, and you're going to say this shit to someone like, yeah, did you watch this fucking DEI Odyssey? It was so fucking stupid. Isn't Elliot Page dumb? They're going to look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? The movie was fucking sick. I watched it last weekend with my girlfriend. We fucking loved it. That's what's going to happen in the real world. But when you're on Reddit all the fucking time, when you're on fucking Twitter the whole fucking time, and the circle jerk of fucking chuds and incels who are not allowed to like the movie. Don't get me wrong. They're not allowed to like it, because if they like it, if they come out and tell their audience, hey, I actually like the movie, they lose all their fucking credibility. So they have to sit there and tell you that they fucking hate it. MMOs sends an 18 AED donor. Thank you so much, MMOs. That's way too fucking kind. Said, I found the all-star cast super distracting. What are your thoughts on all-star casting? I do agree that sometimes hiring like very famous celebrities to play actors can be distracting, right? Like, am I seeing Matt Damon or am I seeing Odysseus? I didn't have that problem, at least with Odysseus. Matt Damon, he sunk into the role, and he had a lot of physicality in that role. He lost a lot of weight, he put on a lot of muscle, the fucking beard, the fucking makeup was fantastic, so I didn't have that problem. Tom Holland maybe took me out of it a couple of times. And look, Nolan attracts big actors. Everybody wants to work with Christopher Nolan, so can I blame Christopher Nolan for wanting to stack his cast with the best actors that he can get? Do I blame other actors for dying for an opportunity to work with Christopher Nolan? I can't. You know, if I were a famous actor and I had a chance to work with Christopher Nolan, I would be like, fuck yeah, dude, fucking sign me up. So when you get to the level of Christopher Nolan, you have access to the biggest names in the world, some of the best actors in the world. Say what you will about Zendaya. She's a massive star. She's also a great actress. Every actor he cast has the talent to back it up. Now, if it's too distracting for you, I completely understand. You know, like Anne Hathaway, but like me, they disappeared into their roles. I was very immersed in the film. I let it wash over me, and it fucking did its thing. You know what I mean? Tom Holland, from time to time, Dad kind of took me out of it a little bit. I'm like, why is Spider-Man asking for his daddy right now? But I thought Robert Pattinson was fantastic. I thought Matt Damon was fucking great. Zendaya had a very small role, so that didn't really take me out of it. You know what I mean? But when you get to the level of Nolan, you get your pick of the litter. He's like, I want to work with the fucking best, you know? So, to some people it was, but I hope you still like the movie, Mimosa. I hope you like the movie, regardless. Some actor, but also like most of Odysseus's crew, unknown actors. So like you need to have someone like Matt Damon leading the charge, and you can't spend $200 million on a movie and not have big name actors. Sword and sandal epics don't make money at the theater anymore. Lord of the Rings made a bunch of money. Almost every single sword and sandal epic that came out after flopped. So if you're gonna get $200 million from a studio to make something like this, even if you're Christopher Nolan, you got to tell them, listen, we're gonna put some stars in there. We're gonna put some people that put butts in seats, because you want to make money. I want to make money. I want people to watch this fucking movie. So yeah, you're gonna get Zendaya in there. You're gonna get Tom Holland. There's some of the most bankable young stars, Robert Pattinson as well. You know, and you got to get some actors to give the movie credibility. You got to have a Matt Damon in there. You got to have an Anne Hathaway. You got to have these big names. But every role in this movie is played by a big actor. Even Mia Goth is in there for a little bit. You got John Leguizamo. Like we said, like some roles, some people have like 3 lines. It's a big actor. I think a grand story like this deserves grand actors, big actors, you know, that fill out those over-the-top roles. So I think, to me, it worked. It fit the movie. Again, this is a big, epic, fucking massive film. It's okay to have like these massive names there, but this is such a fair criticism. It's a very fair criticism. Yes, S. Jin Remy says, Matt Damon's monologue at the end about war is so relevant. That's what I'm telling you. I don't want to spoil it here. The ending, and that's not in the book. That's what's crazy, S. Jin Remy. What he says is not part of the book. It's not part of the themes of the book. How he feels about the sacking of Troy. Like in the book, he's gloating about it. Like he's celebrating it. He thinks he's so fucking clever for doing it. In this movie, he feels differently about it, which I thought was fucking incredible. And such a great way to modernize the story. And given everything that's happening in the world right now, in Palestine, in Lebanon, it hit me hard. His fucking speech, and I looked at my sister, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like that whole final speech of him talking about how he really feels about the sacking of Troy and the impact it's going to have on the rest of the world. I thought it was fucking fantastic. And that brought the whole movie fucking full circle to me. Full circle. And look, at the end, Matt Damon gets a chance to be a fucking badass as well. Like, I'm sorry, the dude's a fucking G. And when he gets back, dude, like, there's some shit that you're like, fuck yeah, dude. And you know what's gonna happen. You know the story. You know the story with the bow and all of that. It felt fucking good, man. And seeing Matt Damon kick some ass. I mean, it's fucking Jason Bourne, man. It's fucking Jason Bourne. And he reminds you that he's Jason fucking Bourne, dude. He's gonna snap some fucking necks, dude. It was dope. I think it was dope. You know? Genuinely, very much enjoyed it. Yeah, and also don't forget, Nolan works with the same actor, so a lot of the actors that were here, like, I'm surprised we didn't get to see Tom Hardy in there.
Odyssey as well.
What was it?
You think darkness is your ally? I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't really see the night until I was only a man, and by then it was nothing to me but blinding. Oh, Batman! Oh!
Does that come through? Do you guys hear the Bane voice?
You think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents against the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? You think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man, and by then it was nothing to me but blinding.
Y'all can't hear it? Can you hear it?
You think darkness is your ally?
And I love that I'm using this.
You think darkness is your ally? You think the Grippr is your ally? You merely adopted the Grippr. I was born with the Grippr, molded by the Grippr. I've done things to the Grippr that you can only imagine, Batman. First, before I enjoy this Grippr further, I will break you. I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body.
I fucking love this shit, bruv. I love the Grippr, and I love doing Bane's voice in the Grippr. It's extra fun.
Oh, I love the Grippr. Oh, Batman, you've given me your Grippr. I will do terrible things, unspeakable things to this Grippr. Unspeakable, Batman. Oh, yes. You thought I brought this Grippr to enjoy a libation. Oh, Batman, you're so mistaken. I will not enjoy any libations with this Grippr, but I will stuff it with my own special libation.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough Grippr. That's enough Grippr action. Guys, that was my long review of the Odyssey. If you've not watched it yet, watch it. Let me just open up the Vox ticketing thing one more time, just for you guys, if you're joining us late. Where do I sit, Anthony? There's no real IMAX in my area. What do I do? I'm going to show you where to sit in IMAX and non-IMAX, okay? Because I'm a good guy. Okay, IMAX, let's see, 6:50 p.m., open a new tab. And regular standard, okay, a standard theater. Okay, let's see. Continuous guest. Come on, come on. This is for you guys. Okay, this is for y'all. Continuous guest. I agree. Okay. So, if you're in an IMAX theater, oh, look at this. Almost all booked up at 6:50 p.m. Let's pick another one just to show you a little bit more options. You think the Grippr is your ally? I agree. Look at this. Look at this, huh? People are going crazy for this Odyssey. People are going crazy. Okay. So if you're in a regular IMAX, not the 1:43 aspect ratio IMAX that I had the honor of watching. Okay, if you're watching a Lebanese IMAX or in an American IMAX that is not the real IMAX, aim for here, here, you know, here, maybe even here. Okay? See all this? This row, this row, this row, this row. This will immerse you in the middle, okay? This is going to cover your periphery and screen. The trick, what makes IMAX so cool is that all you're looking at is fucking screen. You look up, there's screen. You look down, literally to the floor, there's screen. You look right, left, it's all screen. So you want to cover your peripheral vision with as much of the screen as you can without breaking your fucking neck. So in IMAX, whether you're Lebanese IMAX or the regular IMAX that you'll find at your mall, at like Tyson's Corner Mall, they have that, okay? You want to sit either here, you know, this row, this row, this row, okay? This is as close as you should get, I think, and you'll get as much of the screen in your periphery. Now, if you're in a smaller regular theater, look at this, okay? I would still sit here. I would still aim for one of these seats. Ignore the back half. Ignore the back half. This is a regular non-IMAX theater. Ignore the back half and watch it here. Okay? I think you're going to be safe here, and this is where you're going to enjoy the film. You might have a little bit of neck strain by the end, but like, trust me, you want to just see as much screen as you can. Try to sit close. That's my opinion. If you get motion sickness, if you don't like being close, obviously do what's better for you. If you don't mind, this is going to give you closer to that. This is going to bring you closer to what Christopher Nolan wanted you to experience. Okay? So just do this. Okay? That's my advice. You want to book an IMAX, not a real IMAX. Even real IMAX, you'll be fine here in the 6th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're watching in a real IMAX theater, okay, like the one I saw it, don't sit closer than the 6th row. I think I had like the perfect seat at the 6th row. Don't get closer than that. Okay? So, you now know where to book your tickets. I've given you everything. I've given you everything in this review. I can give you no more. Musicaholic says, does anyone know if Anthony's streaming about Lebanon soon? I am planning a Dr. Food stream because he's going to prison or he's been accused of going to jail. I'm just trying to figure out, find an angle. Because I don't know what else to say other than he's going to jail. And most of the TikToks are in Arabic that talk about it. So, but I do intend on talking about Dr. Food. Drac the Ripper sends $3. Thanks so much, Drac. A traveling in a fighter come be Australian dollars. Drac, you're in Australia? Do you think the front IMAX seats are a waste? The front? Like the front? Yeah, don't sit in the first 3 rows. You never want to do that. The first 3 rows, you're gonna be like Willem Dafoe. Okay. If you watch it in the first 3 rows, motherfucker, you're gonna be like this motherfucker. You're gonna look like this. Oh. That's how you're going to be watching the movie. You don't want to watch it like that, okay? You still want to enjoy the damn thing. So yeah, any first 2 or 3 rows are like criminal. They should stop selling tickets there and add some more seats in the back, in my opinion. But no, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Drag, thank you so much for the dono. Very kind. Very kind. Everybody, we're going to call it a stream today. We're going to call it a stream. Thank you to everybody who donated, who gifted memberships. Jesse Jean for becoming a member again at the beginning of the other stream. Sorry about that. Let me thank everybody by name who donated today. Haley D with multiple donations. MMMoza, Drac the Ripper, thank you so much. Haley D gifted 5 memberships. Mithy Eve gifted 5 memberships. And Mithy Eve renewed their membership as well. Thank you so much, Mithy Eve. Mustafa Jav, thank you so much for the dono. Nogzalato, thanks so much for the dono. You guys are fucking awesome. We love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with at least 1 live stream. At the very least, I'm doing a haul video on Tino's Playroom. That's going to be fun. I'm going to show you guys everything that's going to go into the Star Wars mock. I'm so excited. There are so many fucking parts in this. I spent so much money on this stuff, like over the period of many months, bit by bit, getting what I need, getting the base plates, getting the decorations, getting the flowers that are going to make the oversized alien flowers, all that sort of shit. I'm going to reveal it tomorrow. It's going to be super fun. And then we're going to start building this damn fucking thing. We've got to start building this shit. So there's going to be a lot of members content as well on Tino's Playroom, because there's a lot of builds that I want to do that aren't like main channel content worthy, like just little flowers and shit. I'm just going to do this for members. You guys can come join me, have fun as I build them. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much for everybody who joined in today. This is we don't do, for moving forward, all movie related videos, all movie related reviews are going to be taking place on Tino's Playroom, so make sure to subscribe. We do gaming there, we do Lego, and we do fucking gonna be doing movies there. And if I feel like I need to create my own movie channel, then I'll do that eventually, because I know technically I'm supposed to have a Lego channel, a gaming channel, and a movie channel. Listen guys, I don't have the fucking time to manage 4 channels, and I don't have the fucking patience to like monetize 4 separate channels. It's gonna take fucking ever. Okay, so right now I have my other hobby channel. Okay, it's the best that I can do. Okay, we have fun here. We do movies, we do Lego, we do video games. There's a lot of crossover with this shit. Okay, look, I recently talked about the Avengers Doomsday trailer. We had a very fun time breaking it down over an hour. Why? I'm not excited. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to watch Avengers Doomsday, but the trailer made me feel absolutely nothing. You want to know why? Watch the live stream. It was super fun. Lego builds, video games, and moving forward, all movie-related stuff. I'm going to try to put it on Tino's Playroom. So let's see how it goes, everybody. So the link is pinned at the bottom of the live chat. Also, Chris says, join the Discord, absolutely join our Discord. Let me pin the Discord for the next few seconds. We got to give that Discord some love. 1 second. Chat keeps moving. I can't pin. No. Replace pin message. There you go. I believe I've been able to successfully pin Chris's message. So join our Discord, everybody. Let's have some fun conversations over there. Sorry, I've been not very active in the Discord just because of my trip and everything, and just coming back. It's been a fucking nightmare. A lot to deal with tomorrow as well. Everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Oh yeah, so nice. You guys saw it. Let me show you guys. For those who didn't see, we built a lovely little gym minifigure, which Haley has a similar, slightly different version. Our Jim D. Duker's Lego minifig with Oliver, his little beautiful little cat Oliver, and they are currently in Rivendell, undying, immortal, with the elves forever. Jim found his forever home here. He's gonna be chilling with us forever. Nothing will ever take Jim away from Rivendell, where he's immortal. Also, I actually got an email from one of Jim's high school friends a couple days ago. I need to read it. I'm gonna read it right after the stream, actually. One of Jim's best friends who... What's been crazy to me is that a lot of people that knew Jim and loved Jim and knew Jim a long time ago found out about his passing because of our live stream, because of you guys, because of the work that Polish Pusher did, trying to find Jim and trying to find out what happened to Jim. We were the source. We were the breaking news for a lot of Jim's family, Jim's friends, of what had happened to Jim. When they looked up Jim D. Dukers, our live stream, our memorial live stream would come up in their search. So to me, it's sad that I don't want people to find out that way, but I'm also happy that they felt the love and they knew how loved Jim was. And whoever had any concerns that Jim was maybe not the most social person anymore in his later years, that idea quickly got nixed, because they know how beloved Jim was and how what an important role he played in all of our lives. So, it was awesome. I got to buy a couple of Jim's poetry books from Amazon that I didn't have to beef out my collection. We miss you, Jim. And I feel like, even though this is just a little silly Lego minifigure, I feel like Jim, I feel his presence, And obviously, he's literally, let me move the chat real quick. We got our little guy right here. He's right here. So, guys, we love you. Jim, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It was such a pleasure. I like doing these different streams every now and then. So, thank you for allowing me to do this. Have a great day, everybody. We love you. I'll see you tomorrow for at least one live stream, most likely 2 live streams, hopefully. We love you. Yeah, right? Grabbing drinks. He's going to move around. He's gonna hang out with Luffy on their pirate ship. He's going to grab a drink at the cantina. He's going to have all sorts of fun, but he'll always go back home to Rivendell. He has his own bedroom there. I kicked out Bilbo from his bedroom. It's Jim's bedroom now. He's got his own little desk where he can write some more poetry. It's the best. It's the best. Guys, we love you. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, do not worry.